For coaches, the casuals, and everything in between, this is Open Gems, the podcast, where we talk about hoops from grassroots, college to the NBA. I'm Q.
Coach T.
Coach Wayne.
Again, this is family in the room. I don't know what. We done probably all coached against each other. Coached with, had sons that done played together, played against 1,000 times.
Yes, sir.
So this is literally a conversation in basketball talk from the viewpoint of basketball dads, coaches, and then when we get to like college and league talk, this is like we casuals, right? So with that said, I think that it'd be fun if we start off with a little meme section, and I like to get y'all coaches breakdown.
Yeah.
If a team runs this, how would you guard it?
Have to wonder if the new Duke head coach stole this from the USA playbook. Here's a horn set in the Spain action. Dribble handoff coming from the corner. The 5 rolls as the 4 recovers the spot, then dishes out the quick give and go for easy money. Bang. Have to wonder if the new Duke head coach stole this from the USA playbook. Here's a horn set in the Spain action. Dribble handoff coming from the corner. The 5 rolls as the 4 recovers the spot, then dishes out the quick give and go for easy money. Bang.
So I guess let me ask this first before I even ask y'all how would y'all guard it.
Yeah.
And this could possibly be just a section of the show as well, where how would you rate this set? 1 to 10, this set right here. Would you give this?
I give it an 8.
An 8?
I give about a strong 7.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I get the concept.
Dribble handoff coming off the horns into a ghost screen. And they really actually missed the big that was slipping too. That was there as well. I just like the fact that it's about 7 options just inside this little action right here.
Right.
Crazy part, there were no official screen set.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just really interchanged.
Yeah.
Now, defensively, if you pause it right there, that top guard over there, for me, you have to be in that paint.
Yeah.
You know, you 2 passes away on that action up there.
Yeah.
You hugging that corner right there. But like now, you should be in full help side to help tag. So now you're actually not giving up that give and go because he ain't got to help in off when he goes to the post.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's sitting in that hole and he's talking right now, he's kind of giving him that background, that back play. Look, now he's still like he ain't touched the paint yet. Cut right there where he would have been. Right. So,
but if you look at it, I think what you're saying, you absolutely right, Wayne. But I think that play might have been created to do what it did.
Oh, no, for sure.
They might not have been looking for those first options. They knew that when they dump it down, he gonna turn his head back door.
Yes, sir.
You know, so when you look at it, it's like,
Now, when you think about now, people don't throw the ball in the post no more. You just post
a diversion.
Literally, a post is like almost like a.
They call it the hub now.
Like the hub, it's almost like throwing the ball to the wing and getting some action. Like you throw the ball to the post, you get some split action going on. So throwing to the post maybe is really more of a mixed direction than anything nowadays. For real.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne, how you gonna guard it?
Like I say, I mean they did a great job. I think more so being in full help right there. For that guard, he's able to
the 1-2 passes away, make sure we get to the nail.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you get to the nail so you can actually be more communicative to your teammates. So having to turn that head and find, I feel like that cut would have been more negated if he would have been in that hole because literally the gap in the defense where he cut it was really where that guard should have been. So pretty much everything was done well, just more so the execution of the defense need to be up to par.
Trey, talk to us. Anything different?
No, I think that they guarded it pretty well. I just think everything in the beginning was like a smoke screen. They were kind of like just throwing, a lot of that, and then they got exactly what they wanted at the end.
So let me ask you
turned
this:
his head.
Would y'all point switch in general? Would y'all or have everybody stay to their man inside that scenario?
I mean, everybody's switching now.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
But if you coaching, if I'm still,
coaching,
it's still everybody switching.
I mean, at that level, I mean, you recruiting players, and now AAU level, maybe not, because I mean, you got teams where you might have kids that can't guard every position. So I'm getting kids. I'm getting kids to whether fight over the screen or or I'm teaching them if it's not a shooter, you can go under it, but you need to find that man. Don't let them have too much, but more so fighting over that screen at the beginning of the play. But at that level, you got to switch. You recruiting players to switch and be able to play the perimeter.
And more so, you're actually recruiting players that can communicate at a high elite level. And, being able to switch comes from being able to communicate, because I can't be in the right position if no one's not communicating with me. So I feel like, to your point, as far as the level of it, at that level, you're more so switching. Like I said, there really wasn't many screens set, so you're not fighting on the screen. You got to kind of just be able to get through, communicate, slide through, let that player get through, or kind of be in that position to kind of deny the ball. But a lot of that comes from just being, elite communicators at a high level. That's all it is.
All right, fellas, I got one more. Again, we talking about defense, so I think this is an example of concepts, even at the highest level, that I think that we've all probably sat and tried to drill in and teach. I'm gonna play.
Let's check out the Lakers' defense from their in-season tournament win. Vanderbilt presses Halliburton at the inbound. Russell stunts a press, and they both settle back into a half-court 1-3-1 zone where you always want your best defender up top. The on-ball screen comes. AD brings the high corner trap. Russell slides over to catch the screen roller. Vanderbilt catches the driving kick and forces Nesmith's baseline right into the help and forces the turnover. Let's check out the...
All right, so fellas, this leads to an interesting conversation. I ask y'all this. You hear this term thrown out often, junk defense.
Yeah.
What we just seen was junk defense at the highest level, right?
Highest level, highest peak of it.
And first, from the coach's POV, what's your favorite junk defense? What's your favorite pressing defense or half court trap?
I pulled a defense from John Chaney, when he was at Temple. The term has been used to call it amoeba defense, but that's one defense. It was taught to me by Coach Harris when we played for the Charlotte Nets in 1996, and it was just something as a point guard that became a very high student of the game. It just stuck with me how he played it, the rotations of it, how teams could never score against it. So I look at that defense as, call it whatever you want. We called it at the time a 13, with basically like a 1-1-3 as it sets up. And it just has certain rules. Like the guards are never trapping together. So it's always an interchange of guards. You may be a guard wing trap, maybe a guard center trap, but it's never a guard trap. Guards never on the ball at the same time. High communication, but you're covering so many areas that it looks like you have 6 players on the court. So that's a defense that I always have loved. Call it a junk defense, whatever you call it, but and it translates to a full court or to a half court. So you can pressure out of it. You can sit back in it, and, you do many different things, many different variations, as it's called amoeba, which is something that adapts to its environment. So that'd be something I've used a lot, and I have a great high admiration for it as well.
Yeah.
I'd say that I've only seen one team that I could think of that played that really, really well. And that's this is in 2027. I played against them when I was coaching for Grind. Got our ass beat by a lot. It was the North. Was it North Coast Blue Chips? It was the Blue Chips.
Oh yeah.
It was the Blue Chips. They ended up being like the Indiana Pride, but they won USBA Nationals for like 4 years straight.
I remember that.
And they had this really, really short kid. They had 2 really, really fast short kids.
Yeah, D1 handles.
Yeah, D1 handles.
D1
And I forget
handles in the other one.
I forget the other one name. Because of the guards were so fast, the defense, as you said, like it was really hard, especially at that moment, just to kind of understand. But because of their guard speed, it worked so perfectly. Where you could have just off of the skip, that guard is pretty much tracing that ball and being able to hawk it down and close out. And like it made such a difference. Like I said, they kicked their ass that game. Off of it. But that might be the only time I can think of a team that has actually ran that against me, and I had to kind of like figure out something.
Sit back and be like, bro, what the hell?
Like, what is it? Now, first time I seen you, I was like, what is that?
Who'd you see run it?
I think I seen it might have been it was at Grind, but it was before we played. It was before
the Blue Chips.
The Blue Chips. It might have been with a team Ed played. Ed might have even ran it.
Okay.
But I seen it and I was like, what is that?
Because it has a lot of switching rules.
Yeah.
Like when you think it's man, it has a lot of man. I mean, it's basically man defense, but it's just an ultimate switching man, but it's just has so many different principles to it that you really, like you say, you sit back. It takes like some time to really break it down.
And
like,
if you really look at it, it's like a 2-3 on steroids because that back line, you know, you're getting ball pressure.
Yeah.
And then the other guy got the first pass, and then that other guy drops, and then you got, you know, the pulley between the guards, like you talked about. They're not trapping.
They're trapped together.
Yeah.
Anything that goes to the corner, you deny first pass out.
Yeah.
So that's the kicker right there. So you have a lot of teams that want to skip it out. Now that second guard gets that steal a lot. So he was like you were saying. So when I had the little pit bulls with no big man. Yeah. Talking about Nas, Che, Dyson, Elijah Boyd, Zai. You talking about a whole bunch of just little run through the wall for your type kids. You can run that, and you didn't know who was running.
Right.
The only time you may figure it out, you were bigger.
What is your favorite? What's your go-to?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, the 2-3 high. The old faithful 2-3 high. And I mean, last year it worked for me so well. We played the USC Unleashed team. We played them early on, and it was like them yams on Thanksgiving. It was so sweet because we played them, and I didn't have a strong team. Yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, ain't nothing worse than you playing teams, and you know that, you know, I look at myself as a pretty decent coach. I ain't Coach K, but I can win a game, you know, and it's like, you know, you get your butt tapped by the team, and I'm like, man, and I had just lost my point guard. He went to Team Curry, and you know, it's like, you know, we took that L the first time, but later in that year, I had picked up Justin, Marcus' brother. He a pit bull, and watch out for him. Justin Kerr, he is a pit bull. When he get a handle and everything else, and good look on that, Wayne. That I'm gonna tell you, Wayne. Look, that boy, that was a good look. I said, what? They hit me up. I said, I was kind of shocked. I was like, what, Wayne? You know, I talked to you, but I'm like, you know, I thought Wayne would have pushed him somewhere else. Nah, Wayne came through on that one, and I mean, that kid came through big for me. But I had him, and I had grabbed a shooter from what's that team? Can't think of the name right now. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but his name Chalin, and he can really shoot that mug. And I had him, and I had grabbed one more player towards the end of the year, and I jumped in that, and it just changed the whole dynamic of it. Because the coach
you running it full court, half court. You talking about
half court. Court, but I sat in it stout though. I didn't just, you know how coaches used to call it hot, and they'll run. Nah, he seen it coming. We were sitting there waiting. As soon as the guards pushing it, we sitting right there. What you gonna? What's your first pass? What you gonna do? Yeah. And that game,
and you trapping first pass.
Yep. And they just responded. And man, we ran it up on them. I'm talking about we beat them by like 20, and ain't nothing, you know, more satisfying than when you do that. Because the game wasn't going our way at first. They had 2 6-footers. One of them caught a dunk early. And you know how that is. In 7th grade, you get that, you know, transition, and you hey, and everybody like, man, what? So we called the timeout, and I put that defense in, and I looked over there at him, and he was looking like, you got me. You got me. Yeah. I said, Ran it up on him. We ran him out the gym, and he didn't want to shake my hand, but you know, because you know they got the EYB on their chest, and you know we looking, you know, real independent, and you know we took that dub. So you know that 2-3 high, man. Shout out to, you know, the coach that I got that from, but that 2-3 high is something that I do.
Yeah. Gotcha.
What's your go-to, bro?
I would go with probably 12. But running 12, you can start at full court. Because it has such man principles that it almost feels like a running jump naturally anyway. But you can run it soft, and then it can go half court, and then you're just pushing them to the trap zones, and then you can trap at pretty much 3 spots inside the half court. And again, the natural rotation still looks like a man. Yeah, man. And then you can also run it full court and then match up to man in half court out of it. And then you can, whether you want to pack it in or run deny, I think it gives you a lot of options. To me, that's one of the ones I like. the quote unquote press defenses, the trap defenses, that it has it has ball pressure on the man.
Yeah.
Well, like, like naturally, like a 22 doesn't necessarily have ball pressure.
More so
you're kind of like funneling a little bit.
Yeah.
To me, I think Diamond works so great because it's that front man on it.
Yeah.
The 1-3-1 works so great because it's front man and it's funneling somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that diamond is tricky. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have success with the diamond. The 2-2-1 works for me because I don't ever get athletic teams. You got to have some dogs when you run that diamond.
I think, like, to me, the best thing to have is a tall athletic at the top, and then you just got to have two athletes at the middle and somebody smart
that
in
can
the
guard.
I mean, two athletes on the wing and then someone smart in the middle.
In the middle, right? But I usually
or
don't
you have to have two smart wings and an athlete in the middle.
In the middle, sideline to sideline, right?
But I think that front man is huge.
Oh yeah,
like he either got to be a pit bull or he got to be super long.
Super long, yeah.
And that's what Bubba was.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's what made your 12. So when you got Bubba, or even when you put Barry up there sometimes, you know what I mean? Because even though you knew he was going to get beat, it was simple fact that he long. He was going to deflect the pass. He was going to make it throw it high.
Yeah, and then it's air under it. Yeah. Then you got AC grabbing it. Shout out AC, sophomore West Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Getting buckets too.
And like I said, I love it because in the half court, this is where Bubba probably got most of his steals. Like we would trap in that corner. Well, really, what is that? Foul line extended, and then you push to the corner, and then they're making the skip pass to the top.
Every single
and
time.
Then Bubba, his dad is a football player. He's reading that from the nail, and he's tapping that and going. And that's what that was where the main steal came at every single time.
Sure. That coffin corner, that short corner.
Yeah.
Force everything to that coffin corner.
But yeah, so nonetheless, that'll be my go-to. I don't know, that was a good talk about junk defenses. I know we had a quick sidebar about basketball parents, so I want to play this one. I thought that this is funny. We'll run like two or three of these memes before we kind of like really get into some conversations.
Yeah.
Get y'all reaction to it.
Come up and back and look. When I come up and back, look. Have James over there, look. Pass. Cut through. Move. Give me back. Lay it up.
Right, man.
They're going to break it down to give and go.
Did you see how a leg went up on that pass?
Pass it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the basketball moms. We love y'all.
Yes, sir.
But have y'all had any of those loud, but not necessarily the most knowledgeable basketball moms? Sometimes you end up having like you get that text, whether it be the Monday or the Tuesday after the game, and it's like, but the unknowledgeable parent, whether that's the mom or the dad.
Coach, why they just want to run faster? Make them run faster, Coach.
Right. Like I'll be trying, but your kid can't run fast.
Nah, but like you say, shout out to the moms though, because for real though, I mean, when you have involved parents, both parents, you got to have a balance. And a lot of times, it's going to be the dad on the child and mom balances out. And sometimes it's the flip side. It's the mom that's overly exuberant about everything, and this dad just like, hey, you know what you got to do. You know me. So shout out to the parents, the guardians, everybody, man, because for real, I mean, the fact that they've invested into what you love and what we've loved to do growing up is bigger than anything else, because what they're doing is being selfless. Like that mom, oh my God.
Yeah.
She done studied enough that she got that part down.
Yeah.
Right.
You give it to James and he gonna give it back to you and lay it like
give and go.
Mom ain't know nothing about no layup 5 years ago.
Right. I had one when I started the Halo thing. It was my first year. We went to Tennessee.
Yeah. And
I remember that tournament because we went with United. So I went. So each year I operated, I made sure we went there. But man, she was up and down the sideline. She was talking to the parents. and I ain't gonna lie, that Monday that you talking about,
Yeah.
she was up out of there. I called her. I said, "Look, it's done. Your son can no longer play with me. That was a bad look. Oh, I heard it all. You sorry, mother. You would have thought I was the daddy. How she was talking to me, but she was up and down the sideline, and I'm like, no, we ain't doing that. But yeah, I've had a parent like that. You know, one or two.
Yeah,
and I think that depending on kind of what their approach is, they can be a team killer. Or they could be like a good morale boost a little bit, but it's rarely anything in between.
Right.
Like either they about to fight the other parents on the team, like they, you know what I mean? Like it just be chaos.
Yeah.
Or again, like I've been a part of teams where you would have like the loud brother or the loud, cousin or loud whatever, but they're bringing so much energy and so much, you know what I mean?
It's almost like you want them now. You know,
you
gonna take
you asking, you like, is he coming today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna take the good with the bad on that. It's like, you know what? He may say a cuss word that may give me a tech, or he may have a rep come and tell me, hey, tell your parent. But at the same time,
he get the boys going.
The boys looking for that energy, like, yo,
he getting that boys going over there.
Where his cousin at? Because he was loud. You know,
yeah.
The boys
he be
feed
talking
off
to
that,
yeah.
Because fans can say things that coaches can't.
Right, but that's also true.
Wayne, you was that. I hated playing against you because that cash app, man, I'm telling you, Wayne, you got them boys going.
Cash app me my money.
Cash app me my money, bro.
I'm telling you, boy, I used to hate playing you because I'm like, you really had mind control over them boys. Like them boys really went hard, Wayne. I don't think it's a better coach out there when it came to that. You and Stanley from EA.
Oh, for sure.
Coach Potts. Coach Potts, when I first met him, he would do that too. Like he a great motivator. Like he talking to him. Sure. Man, that's soft as hell. And then here they go. And you like, oh man.
Ran through a wall for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think that kind of goes into, kind of how I was coached and how I was brought into the game, and also just being a point guard.
Yeah.
A point guard, you got to be able to communicate with everybody on their level.
Yeah.
And I prided myself that with every player that I coach as well. It's like, what's going to trigger that for that player?
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to this one that way, but I can't talk to that one that way. You know what I mean? I got to motivate him a little differently and so
yeah.
That's why, I had different versions of myself with them. But when we got on that court, it was like,
man, boy, he
got our back. I think that was the main thing they kind of grasped at the early concept was, I'm willing to take that fall for y'all because I'm
oh yeah,
I'm in it for y'all. So if we getting that tech and I got to sit my butt down, I'm still gonna be talk my stuff, but y'all feeding off of that. You know what I mean? If it's you getting fouled hard, I'm gonna fight for that part. And one thing I've learned with kids and young people in this game is that when they know that someone's fighting for them in anything, they're gonna ride for you.
Yeah. Oh boy, yours did. I ain't.
They're gonna ride for you, bro.
Look, when we see them United jersey coming at man, coming at Jim, we like here we go.
Those
gonna
are
be playing now.
Those are fun times,
yes, sir,
for sure. I guess as we segue out of the meme section, I want to play this one right here. Y'all are coaches. Tell me your thoughts.
I would like 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. I would like 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. I would like 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. I would like 3 chicken wing with the fried rice.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn on that.
All right, Mr. O'Neal, please stop using.
Does that hit home?
I'm both,
bro.
I'm both.
Yeah, definitely. I'm both as well.
Yeah,
it hits all the way home.
I'm gonna tell you how I am. I'm the first one at practice. I be on them, and then I'm with them. Yeah. And then when the game come, I give them a couple of words of encouragement, and I'm like, "Hey, we out here. It's business time." Yeah. So I'm both. Like I play both sides.
I feel like I'm the second one first.
First, yeah.
In practice, I'm going because kind of live by the rule of I'm not trying to embarrass you in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not mean I'm gonna do it in practice, but I can get on you a lot more that it means it's gonna gravitate towards you in practice than I want to in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the game, we trying to be at that vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're gonna be on that same wave to where, and it's the old saying, when you're an elite team, practice is supposed to be hard in the game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Practice is supposed to be that thing was like, coach killing us right now. So when you get in the game, it's like, we free.
Yeah. Yeah.
We free.
Yeah.
We get to master them, set us free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go. It's time to ride out. You know what I mean? And then that's when you get to see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
That's when, you hear me, you done got the right, turn them.
Yeah.
Get that still. Like, go eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go eat. You know what I mean? Because you've earned that. You've earned that food. You know what I mean? It's like, you done worked hard for it. Now you done got the fruits of your labor. Now take advantage of it and clean that plate up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like I'm that second way. I'm gonna go hard on you in practice to where you get in the game, man. We just vibe.
Yeah.
We having fun out there.
All right, so fellas, I got another good one for us, which I think will probably branch us off into a larger conversation about reclasses in general.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of came in the era of where reclassing became really, really popular. So I even imagine a lot of us, we've probably evolved our stances on the concept of reclassing. So I'm gonna play this, and then I think that this will get us into a fun or interesting conversation.
For sure.
You give us the game on your decision to reclassify into the 2025 class. What went into that whole decision making?
Well, that was the plan when I reclassed, back down. I mean, I'm of age of 2025, but this is my original class. I was like, I just wasn't ready to play with these guys yet. And then, once I grew into my body, once I got a strength coach, I was like, I'm ready to go back up.
You think it's a case by case on whether someone should reclassify?
I think it's by the player, because my two biggest thing is body-wise and confidence-wise. Because the reason why I was inconsistent, because I wasn't really confident in my abilities. So once I got an extra year of work, it was like, I'm ready. I can go hoop with anybody. Because that made hoops circuit. When I played 8th grade, I won it because I had confidence, and I was like, I can play high school.
Love that.
You give us the game on your...
All right, fellas. I guess we can start off with just the basic. Should you reclass? And then we'll go into would you reclass? And if you do think there's scenarios where a person should reclass, we'll talk about when it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But Wayne, I'll talk to you first.
Well, the funny part about it, I'm looking at what he just said though, but he was the number one player when he reclassed. He was top 10 in his class before he reclassed down. So I get what he's saying, maybe consistency wise though, but I remember seeing him myself with my own eyes.
Boo Williams,
he was that dude.
I forget who was he playing
for
Expressions. Expressions, the Red.
Expressions in the league out of Massachusetts. I remember them
So he was nice before he did the reclass.
Yeah. So when he reclassed, it was almost like,
why are you reclassing?
He made it, kind of clear there. But even so, from what I'm seeing, like I said, we outside looking in, and it makes sense for him at that point. But it does now, and I guess it's going to segue to what I'm saying. It's like it has to be on a player by basis.
Yeah.
I feel like when we first, because I feel like we kind of, as we begin coaching our kids in this era and watching our kids matriculate, more than anything else, I feel like we kind of seen the evolution of the reclass. To where I seen people do it early, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, to where it didn't make sense then, to then it done in middle school where it kind of made more sense. And then I've seen it done on the level of due to COVID. So, so I've seen it on that level as well. Then I've seen it post-COVID. So kind of seeing about 4 different stages of it. And
so would you say there's some that make sense and some that doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel.
Or do you think that none of it makes sense?
I feel like it makes sense at certain levels.
Okay.
And
so what are the levels that you would say doesn't make sense?
Or
when does it not make sense?
For me, it doesn't make sense when you're talking about a kid that has already shown the ability to be elite over their peers in their class already, in the particular class they're in.
Mhm.
So it's almost like, you're right on the path of being top when it needs to matter.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of parents were chasing the accolades when it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
An Instagram write up.
Yeah, maybe Instagram write up, or just witnessing their kid be dominant playing wise versus being average. So I feel like that doesn't make sense to me. But I also feel like parents have become rushed in a sense due to the social media and the access that we gave to athletes. So that's when I feel like it doesn't make sense. It's just like let your kid grow. Every kid is not going to grow at the same rate. Like we're looking at now kids that were taller at 4th and 5th grade. Now that it's kids now in 10th grade, they're 4 or 5 inches taller than that same kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you going to be patient to kind of let it run that marathon, or are you really running the sprint?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
And I think that's my stance on it more. So it's like, make it make sense, but it's not going to always make sense to everybody on the outside.
Yeah. I guess I'd say going to the notion of like when it doesn't make sense. I definitely would say like early.
Yeah.
Especially like elementary school. To me, that just doesn't make any sense at all. Where to me it just seems like too early to be basing a kid's life around basketball. And like even if they're going to continue to want to play basketball, where like I've seen kids that have reclassed at 5th grade and don't play basketball anymore at all. And like so then that ends up just being more so the parents' ego and pride that at that moment they were chasing this quick instant gratification. Yeah. So to me, I don't specifically think it makes sense at that age. I'm kind of hard pressed at middle school to really see when it makes sense, but I can understand. Like I think he pointed like with his success and where he went, I think he pointed out like a valid reason, especially how he ended up reclassing back up. Yeah. Where it was for a moment of time to gain confidence and kind of, but he's also a kid whose life has revolved around basketball for like the past 4 years, where you hear about these stories also where a lot of these kids, they don't have any version of a regular high school experience. They don't go to prom. They don't have like regular school.
Yeah. They don't chill with friends.
Don't chill with friends. Yeah. It's like very specific. And if you're on that journey, then I think that then again, now it starts making a little bit more sense. But that is its own very specific dedication. And there's it's just that's a heavy load at an early age to base your entire life around it. But again, I do think that it does make sense to reclass inside. To me, it makes more sense, should I say, when you get high school and then later high school. And I say that inside the sense of where kids traditionally have reclassed, where maybe it's like 10th or 11th grade, and usually it used to be like 11th to 12th grade, where it would give you the opportunity for better scholarships coming up. Where you've already kind of like established yourself, like this is the thing that you know that you're trying to do. And what you didn't get that time didn't necessarily make sense. So like, I would say there is another caveat that I would say that it does make sense. I think late second semester in summer birthdays, I don't even look at that as reclassing, to be honest.
Because they're actually the age of that next class coming in anyway.
At worst, it's like a 2-month difference.
Yeah.
Like, so I think like almost April might be a stretch, but May, June, July, August, I don't look at them as reclassing. They're pretty much choosing to either be the oldest or the youngest.
Yeah.
By almost a year.
That's basically what it is. You either the youngest in the class or the oldest in the class.
Yeah. So that'd be my take on when it does or doesn't. Trey, talk to us.
Listen to his clip, it makes sense.
Yeah. For him.
You're right. And I would say situational. What you guys are saying, and Wayne did point it out, I used to kill that on Facebook. I was against it until you actually see a situation where it's it could be helpful.
Yeah.
I got a kid that we coached last year that falls in that category, which I was speaking of with the birthdays. But you can see he has skill, but he doesn't have a good IQ.
Yeah.
And he needs that extra year to get the IQ. So then he'll be
on that level,
on the level of where he need to be. So it will help him.
And 10 months is huge.
Yeah.
Like, so for that, like that kid, if it's a summer birthday,
oh yeah,
it's interesting. In it, there's been studies that's been shown. One, a lot of the kids that end up being quote unquote really good at, like, for their age, end up being first semester kids.
Yeah.
Just because of they naturally end up having a little bit more age and time and strength over the kids at a second semester. And when it comes down to success rate of reclassing, second semester and the later, they end up having a higher success rate because of it's more of a natural reclass.
Yeah, for sure. Socially for them as well.
Yeah.
That's what I see as well. And I also want to, add another caveat to that, if someone gets injured, you're talking about an injury to take someone out for a year, maybe a 8th grade or 9th grade, 10th grade year,
a pivotal year.
I definitely see, reclassing to, just if that's something you want, just provide an opportunity to actually have a full, 4 years or 5 years, whatever it is, to accomplish that goal, more than anything else. So, but I'm interested to see, I'm not going to, shoot no names, but I'm interested to see a few kids in the classes that we know that have reclassed recently, if they're going to reclass back up now they're getting the notoriety that they have garnered, recently with reclassing.
Yeah, because I and it's funny you said it, because I had a discussion with somebody too that was talking about the kid that we all know.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want it to seem like we bashing kids that do it.
Oh yeah.
But it was like, would he be like that in his class? Well, we got to see now if he goes back up. But I think the kid is cold though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that once they're doing it on a high school level, it's as long as they're playing like a tough enough schedule.
He's done on the circuit and on high school level.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I'm interested to see that how that matriculates for kids we've known, we've seen, I mean, for whatever reason they've done it and it's been respected. I just want to see how it translates for them going forward.
Nah, I dig it. So again, I guess I would kind of, I think I said when I think it does make sense and when I think it doesn't. Again, I know I'm not specifically against it. It just should make sense, and it shouldn't just be for the parents' gratification.
Yeah.
Of whether it's just wanting to see their kid be successful at this small period of time. It's not necessary to go into specifics, but you see that often in which a reclass, sometimes they only reclass for a year advantage. And then again, if we just give a hypothetical of a guard whose ceiling of height ends up being 5'10".
Yeah.
And being a 9th grade guard playing 8th grade, that 1 year, you kind of end up being a little dominant.
For sure.
But then the next year, and then the rest of those 4 years, you still end up being exactly back on par with where you were inside your original class.
Yeah.
Like you say, you got to make it make sense. You see people that do it, man, you got to look at everything, the whole landscape. If the kid got the metrics or if he's going to have the metrics, are you waiting on a growth spurt? Let's not reclass a 5'7" guard and that's all he's going to be. You're setting that kid up for failure. You know what I'm saying? No matter how good, we know this game is based off of metrics, and they look at that as potential. They look at the kid's metrics, and they look, okay, how big is he going to get?
Yeah, genetics play a lot of part.
Oh, yeah. So let's make it make sense, guys. When y'all out there reclassing, that's why, we had these talks, and I'm not scared to say it about my own son. I don't go as hard because it's look at me. I'm 5'8". On my wife's side, the men are big. So, I'm more like realistic. Like he can play. He you know, he done outgrew me. He taller than me, but
he gotta want it though.
He gotta want it. He gotta want it, and everything got to be right for me to do something like that.
No, you good. And that's one thing I kind of, you know, I think we all kind of contemplated a certain point in our own son's career. We maybe thought about that, you know, maybe being a little open-minded about, maybe should I reclass my own kid, you know, and what are the pros and cons of it?
Right.
You know, and I think for, you know, when you kind of talk about the timing of it and when you do it, it's like, you know, let's see what time has for them, what maturity and adolescence is going to provide for them as well, because a lot of them, they haven't even hit a growth spurt. And I felt like the funny part about it, you know, me and Q talked about it a lot, you know, even with yourself. Like I felt like our boys had the latest growth spurt ever. Like, like where everybody was
it's
growing.
crazy because I look at y'all boys now and I'm like, damn, I feel small as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember I seen you at the game, at the Chambers game, and I'm like, what did I? And I seen y'all in the mall. I'm like, what did I miss? Like, I just seen Zion like a month ago, and like, man, he bigger than you.
We all went through it at the same time. It was more so like we was walking by a mirror one day, and I looked at I said, wait, hold on, bro, come back, right? Come back, come back right quick. Like you almost passed me. Y'all were the same height. Next thing I know, I looked up, he taller than me.
Yeah.
And for us, it was more so opportunities were presenting themselves to go to private school. And, you know, along with that, not necessarily like a second semester birthday, but not a birthday that's going to put you uberly older than everybody if you did reclass, or uberly younger than everybody if you don't. So kind of the middle of the road type of thing. But, you know, really the idea of it was more so just the opportunity for a higher education where translating from public school to private would have put you in a position where you would have had to reclass academically anyway, just based on the totem pole of where private is versus public in our particular district. You know what I mean? So
and what's interesting, and it's not necessarily talked about a lot, but one, basketball and football wasn't the first group when it came down to sports to do reclassing. Like that's lacrosse. But then also there is the fact that a lot of Asian and like Indian households, they academically reclass so that their kids can be like higher on quote unquote like the ranking for like valedictorian XYZ, because that also directly leads into whether they get into Harvard, whether they get into Yale, Ivy, or Stanford, or anything like that.
Free schooling at that as well.
And why you said that, I learned too when we played in the Adidas National. We was talking to the dude. We played a Canada team, and he said that they start school later. And so you got those kids, it's like kindergarten. They like 7, 8 years old in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? So like the team we played, like we was 7th grade, but them boys had mustaches. They looked like they was like 14, 15 years old already. Like they could have been 9th grade. Everybody was dunking in the layup line. And I'm like, man, like everybody's body was filled out, looked like JV varsity kids, but this was 7th grade.
Well, that kind of makes sense to why they go play club ball versus sometimes going to colleges. And, you know, from certain, well, really anything outside the U.S. You know, a lot of these, you know, Lucas and all of them, they say they're professionals, but they're basically playing a club style of basketball to where they're getting paid to play, though, but it's on a different level, but they're getting exposed to what it's like to be a professional from age 16, 17, 18, because, you know, they're not pushing you to college. The ones that are going to college are supposed to go to college. The ones that supposed to play a sport, they're supposed to play a sport. You know what I mean? Like, that's your livelihood right there, where we, you know, try to balance out being a student athlete, which is great as well to a certain extent. But imagine if we literally had factories that built athletes, like, you know, you see Russia, see like the Asians now. You know, we were just watching some videos of that, and the way they train is so detailed. It's like almost like, well, we're training you to be this,
to be a pro. Nothing
we're
else,
not training you to
that,
be a student athlete. I'm training you to be an athlete, you know, in this profession. So, you know, I feel like we see a lot more of that outside of our norm. But you know, to see these athletes kind of excel at that is a little different as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so fellas, I think that this lends us. Well, I think that was a great conversation. I also think that there's a bunch of different conversations that are now coming up that I imagine like this is just like the root of like that tree where like there's even this popular conversation that comes down to age and how much that should be based on how much you should base potential off of pure age.
Yeah.
And you see that a lot within the NBA where depending on where a person is drafted at age wise, they give them a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But saying all that to say, I'm gonna push play on a meme that deals with a kid that at 14 he was playing with his brother in Chino Hills, winning championships. I think he went pro at like 16 or something like that. I don't know.
Bro,
I got a love-hate relationship with him.
So I'm gonna push play on this, and I think that this is going to segue us into some league talk, some Hornet talk. We're going to turn into a Hornet podcast for a quick second.
Where do you have him at? Right now, I probably have him where Dame, but I'm talking about before I would have Luka, Steph, Ja, Fox, Kyrie.
Didn't you have LaMelo at top 5 at one point?
You be arguing me and say LaMelo's a top 5 point guard right now. Yeah, that was first year. First year was balling.
First year, rookie had him top 5 point guard in the league.
He averaged 29 and what right now? He top 5 right now. Right now in the
29, 6 and 5 rebounds, 44% from the field. See, the thing with LaMelo is he's a pure point, but he has the ability to just be a scorer if he wanted.
The first 10 games, he top 5 right now.
Top 5?
Yep, and I'm on record saying that right now. And Dame's been hooping too, but he's better than Dame right now.
He is.
I guess I'm gonna start with this part of the conversation. This is like the memeable part. Could LaMelo Ball be the Hornets' first superstar?
No.
Well, we already had the first superstar.
Who was that?
Grandma Mama was the first superstar.
Okay, all right, my bad.
Grandma Mama was.
All right, so let me reframe this. Could LaMelo Ball be the Hornets' next superstar?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He carries a following of the youth right now, you know, and I think that's what makes you a superstar nowadays. Is, you know, being an all-star. I think superstar actually refers to bigger than the basketball itself.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know,
that's a good point.
When you become superstar, it's like what you do off the court that makes you
beyond the basketball.
Because, you know, the highest level in the sense of basketball is, you know, all NBA, all-star.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about superstar, you're talking about.
But would you say that you do have to hit those marks also?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you know, Melo's had an all-star appearance. I mean, regardless if it came via someone being hurt, he came in, actually had a great performance in the all-star game. He hasn't made All-NBA yet, but he's won Rookie of the Year.
This might be the year.
This might be the year he makes All-NBA. I mean, really right now, we're talking about...
He averaging 30.
And literally the team is...
leading the league inside fourth quarter points.
Yes.
He put up
from the four.
He put up 14 tonight.
Yeah,
14 tonight.
And he got my over on 20 plus. Shout out to Melo.
You get Melo for the 20 plus and the over and the plus 3 threes. You get to go.
Shout out to Melo. We need
so listen,
every night.
Again, one of my favorite Facebook back and forth is this guy next to me.
Yes, sir.
Where he is a avid habitual at times.
Yes.
LaMelo naysayer.
Yes.
Trey Man over LaMelo, I've heard often.
Yes.
But saying that all to say, right now, where are you standing at with our guy LaMelo? Could he be our next superstar, all-star, all-NBA player?
Yes.
Or are you still saying trade him?
No.
Oh, okay, you didn't walk that back.
I'm gonna walk it back. Keith.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk it back, and I will say he will be the next superstar.
Okay.
And he has the same.
2 weeks have changed a lot.
It has. It has. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. I'm going down.
Okay.
Go down. Follow me.
Bring it to him.
he reminds me of what Cam Newton was to the Carolina Panthers.
Hey, you took
I
the word.
can see
I was about to
He's
say,
I can see that.
he
He's
can be the next
electric,
Cam Newton to Charlotte,
and he can get us there
for sure.
with the right
For
pieces.
sure, he could be the next Cam Newton.
He's
to Charlotte.
electric, but you know where I don't like him, Q. He'd be out of pocket sometime. He would have 23s and only hit like 14 of them. You know what I'm saying? And
that's not
bad. But the ones that he missed is the ones that I rant and rave about. Me and you'll go back and forth. It's just he'll hit 2 and they'll be like, okay. And then he'll come down and shoot a one-legged one. And he fading. And it's like, man, you got guys now. You got Green. You got you got other guys that can hit the 3. Don't settle for that. Give it to Miles. Let Miles make the extra kick. Now, these last 2 games that I've watched him, Q, I will say he's getting downhill more. So I think the Charlotte Hornets is seeing what I'm posting. I'm going to say that. They seeing what I'm posting because I called the Panthers out and I called the Charlotte Hornets out. I said, Lee, I love what you're doing with them boys. But if you don't get Melo in pocket instead of out of pocket, and he's getting downhill tonight, he closed out Milwaukee because he got downhill, got on the free throw line, and there you go. He has some games closer than what they should be. And it's like teams we should beat. And I ain't knocking no team. They all pros.
Yeah.
But he'll take 3s at times. And it's like, Melo, come on, man.
But I think that's the good and bad of it. Of course, I do think that he has to have, and maybe this guy, he might be, maybe he's not. We'll kind of see.
Some of the coach.
Yeah, the coach, where you have to have your best player have irrational confidence.
Yeah.
It just has to be. And if it's one thing that he has, it's irrational confidence. And to me, that's the thing that could almost allow you to be like, he could be a superstar.
Yes.
It's because of like, he's going to do it. Whatever it is, he's going to do it. And the thing is that it's tried and proven that a lot of times, like if you've seen that 3 that he hit to put the game into overtime,
it's big
for the Philadelphia game, catch corner one-legged, but it's irrational confidence.
But that right there, Q,
I'm
not arguing that because somebody got to have the cojones to shoot it. But it's the joints in the middle of the game when we don't need that, and we might be making.
I understand, like it's when he get the big on him, and then he's gonna pull back, and then he's going through the James Harden step back.
I feel like it goes back to what I think Iman Shumpert, they was interviewing him. He was talking about, he's like, yo, at the end of the half, Melo got there, made a move
on 2 people.
On 2 people. He said Shump when the locker room's like, yo, what? You know what I mean? So Shump going off and Melo get back in the locker room. He's like, yo, locker room. He's like, yo, why just getting past me the ball, bro? You know what? So So Carmelo comes in. He was like, yo, what's wrong with Shorty? Why Shorty mad?
Yeah.
You know, Shump was like, I told him, I was like, yo, I just swore that thing. I was open. He was like, yo, I work on that shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, Shump, I work on that shot, like on 2 people. Like to me, like that's a good shot. It's a good shot. I feel like it's the same thing with Melo. Like what we don't see is what we don't know.
Now, Wayne, and I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, go ahead.
You know I'm sensitive about Melo.
For sure.
We can talk about this all night.
Yeah,
but he got help now. That's what I want Melo to understand.
Yeah, I got you.
This ain't the team last year. You got outside of Miles, you got Brandon Miller now. That's proven. That's proven.
That was my next point.
Yeah,
like
proven. Yeah. Swing it. You got Grant Williams now hitting the corner 3. Yeah,
wow.
You got help now. Now Grant be out of pocket.
I'm about to say that Grant. We might have to have our own full conversation.
I know. We will. He be out of pocket too, but he got help now, and Grant will hit that shit.
Nah, for real though. Like,
but Grant's a 7. Like I think 6 out of 10 times he be out of pocket.
He out of pocket.
And funny part about it, like, so this side note, yesterday, you know, we had the little turkey drive at the school. So it was Miles and Grant.
Yeah.
So my son being my son went to Grant, was like, yo, bro, You be messing up my parlay.
Shout out to Zion. Zion said that.
Yo, Grant was like, yo, bro, you too young know about the parlay.
No,
Like, nah,
shout
bro.
out to Zion.
Zion was like, nah, bro, you messing up my parlay every night.
Hey, what's Zion Instagram? Shout out
Zion
to Zion.
too tough.
Zion too tough. Shout out to you, man.
Zion hit him with the yo, bro. Yeah, you messing up my parlay, bro. You gotta get right, bro.
Right. Come
But
on, man.
one thing I want Melo to understand, but you gotta think about this as well. He has yet to play a full healthy season and have a full healthy team, which no team in the NBA really has a full healthy team though. But it's been rare for Melo to have the key pieces
that he needs,
and
he's not
healthy
them,
and himself healthy
No,
for an extended period of time.
And that's fair because Miles Bridges had that whole little stint.
He did.
Miles had his stint.
him and his feet, his ankles. Hopefully, he turned to Steph Curry because that's the last guy that I can remember that had those bad ankles like that.
You lost the next best scorer, which is PJ last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so really, this team is a new team.
And Miller showed though that he's a legit set. And Q, I will say, me and you went back and forth on that because I was pro Scoop when the draft was coming. But Q, I give you all respect. Brandon Miller was a better fit
for us to go through the same thing we went through when it came to getting to Dwight Howard with Emeka Okafor.
Oh man,
the same thing happened with Brandon Miller and Wemby. You know what I mean? Well, they say the same thing because Okafor ended up winning Rookie of the Year over Dwight. But I will say, outside the hype, Brandon Miller had damn near an equivalent rookie year.
Man, he cold. He cold.
I mean, you got to think about he was hurt. He was hurt a little bit, but when he played,
all right. So you're talking about second half of the year.
Yeah.
Second half.
He played. He was healthy. I want to say Brandon Miller
cold.
Literally was co-rookie of the year with Wemby.
So let's switch it too.
Second half
we talking about Melo, but what lineup is the lineup?
To me,
paying attention to the Hornets,
close.
This one. I would start with this one. To me, I like Trey Mann at the one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting Melo at the two.
Mm-hmm.
B Miller, Bridges, and are we talking about healthy bigs or not?
Whatever works.
We ain't seen them yet.
We ain't seen Mark.
I've seen
so without healthy bigs, who's the dark skinned kid that get all the offense?
Diabate. He's a dog.
Yes,
he need to start over Nick Richards.
Then that's my five.
I feel like
I need y'all to give me a better five than that.
He fouls too much for me to start right now.
Yeah, he do.
He fouls too much to start, but for the minutes he can give us off the bench, I like him in that role.
But think about this.
Who you putting at the five right now?
But think about this,
I like
Wayne.
Taj Gibson for the game.
Think about this, Wayne. You had a kid with that energy that fouled a lot, and we used it against you in the MLK tournament.
Y'all did.
Well, you need that energy.
Yeah, you did.
You did. You need that energy, and Nick Richards don't give it to you right now. When he in there, man, Sengun was giving him buckets.
I feel like Nick is getting comfortable.
He has.
I feel like I think the last 2 years he was uberly hungry.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like what's happening.
I like what I seen before he got hurt.
Yeah. But to start the season off, he was doing pretty well.
What's your closing lineup?
Hold on, wait. No. Well, I already went. Trey, we need yours first.
Okay.
What's yours? Yeah.
Oh, I seen it. And Charles Lee got to go with it. The lineup he had in when we what game was that? I want to say we beat.
No, it wasn't Boston, but who was we came back?
And we won that game when your boy Miller hit that followed the shot and
was
scored.
It Indiana?
Might have been Indiana.
Might have been Indiana.
Okay, yeah. They was on a run, and Lee went. He went. Melo wasn't even on the floor. It was Trey Mann. He went Trey Mann, Curry, Miller, Cody Martin, and he went Grant Williams.
That's a great defensive
lineup, and that opened the game up. When he went to that, it was like, and I'm not saying start it.
But hold on, I can't close with that.
Yeah, you ain't saying close or start with that, are you?
But no,
you putting Melo in the bench.
I can offensive, defensive that thing.
Listen, Miller and Trey Mann went crazy in that lineup. They didn't need Melo, and I'm not saying Charlotte don't need Melo. I'm not saying that. But when he went that lineup, late in the game, we went on a run because Melo sometimes is be out of pocket, man.
This the Facebook Trey that I know right here.
Right here.
So this is him right here.
So
Right
for me,
here.
So understand what Trey said. Trey said this. He said that to either close or start the game, Melo should be on the bench.
Not
instead,
open. Not open.
And instead,
Close.
we're going Seth Curry and Trey Mann at the guard.
And Miller.
With Grant Williams also.
And Miller.
Well,
Leaving out
Miller,
Miller.
but also pointing out, you put Grant Williams in that lineup.
Yes.
Mr. I lost 2 Celtics games back to back.
But the ball
off like boneheaded plays.
The ball
like he actually gave them like a 7-0 run by himself in a game.
And I got to get him out of Dallas because he is not what we thought he was going to be.
Right.
Mr. The last 2 teams that I played for went to the championship because they needed me to get off the team.
Man, don't do that guy. But Grant,
mind you, this is also saying no LaMelo.
Yes, but listen, we saying no LaMelo, but we still saying 2 guys that get it done offensively. Trey Mann and Brandon Miller was in that lineup, and they went crazy. That's what I'm saying. So when you're looking at closing the game, and I'm not saying LaMelo, you're gonna have to put him in sometime.
So
you
again,
can put him in for Seth. You can put him in for Seth
for some time.
You can put him in for
so
Seth.
again,
LaMelo ball.
But imagine you saying the guy that's leading
that-
the league in fourth quarter points.
He is, but it don't
That's-
always.
look,
but
that's-
look at their record though, Q. Our
They
record is decent.
We 5-7. We in the 8th place.
I'm about to say,
Right.
We were just in
It ain't
4th.
bad.
We were just in 4th.
It ain't
It's
bad.
not bad, but sometimes you don't always have to have that guy on the floor to close the game. He can do his damage starting it and in the middle, but in that stretch,
I got you. Now, what I get you saying is like there are some games that as a coach, I'm going to stick with the lineup that may have gotten me there.
Right.
Some games.
But that's the lineup I'm seeing that's doing it in the games we winning. Outside of Melo scoring, I'm looking at these lineups.
So
Trey Mann, when Trey Mann and Miller's on the floor.
One thing I will say about I do like Trey Mann as a compliment offensively.
6 man of the year possibly.
Yes.
Now defensively,
right.
Just as bad.
That's what, and that's where I differ.
And give us your closing as we go through.
I have 2 lineups. I'm gonna give you my closing offensive lineup, and I'm gonna give you my closing defensive lineup because within the NBA, you have a lot of TV timeouts you save for this particular reason. Offensively, I need Melo, I need Trey, I need Brandon, I need Miles. Now, given who that 5th one has been for that game, I've liked Cody sometimes as that 5th one.
He played good defense.
Because one thing about Cody, he's a switch armor knife. He can set the screen, he can get the way, he can do a little bit different. He can make sure that we get the what they call it, the mismatch in that moment. You know what I mean? But I also like Taj in that final lineup at times, just being a veteran.
And I like that move that
He's
they
been
went
a veteran.
Taj Gibson.
Like when we brought in Taj out the way, I was like, I ain't find out till I was playing the game with my son. I was
real.
like, we got Taj?
Yeah.
Oh, word, Taj on the roster.
Yeah.
Let's go. We
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah.
But I also like I like Grant sometimes.
Yeah.
But okay, but if we had to go to the official closing lineup, like I said, it's either gonna be Cody or Taj right now with the lineup we have.
Right.
Now defensively, I need Cody.
Yeah.
I need Diabate.
Yeah.
I need Grant.
Yeah.
Brandon and Miles.
You could throw Grant out the window. He gonna be the one to foul every time.
Q, why you keep shitting on Grant?
But you know what?
It's because he just
right now, Grant
he makes the worst.
So Grant is going through like
every
the
time.
JaVale McGee phase right
Yes.
now.
Yeah, he is.
Yes,
He
Like,
is.
Grant-
like he
Grant-
get the offensive fouls and the defensive fouls. I'll be like,
Grant
bro,
is
what
getting
is
the
it?
but
JaVale
look,
McGee treatment right now,
He is.
especially in Charlotte, and he's from Charlotte. That's when I feel bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Providence.
Bro,
He went to
Providence
Providence Day.
Yeah, like him and Devon. Look, it's like Grant has been the scapegoat for everything that goes wrong, just like JaVale McGee was.
I just be watching the game and he make
he
dumb
do
plays.
some dumb shit, but he do some good shit though.
I think sometimes
he'll hit a couple threes.
I think he overthinks moments more than anything. And I think he's trying to be too much of something he's not in the moments he don't have to be.
The other day I seen him do a sidestep 3.
It's like, nah, bro.
For no reason.
No,
right,
bro. If you're not catching and shooting in the corner.
Right, that's it. Know your role.
Or you're not finishing at the rim.
Know
like
your
you're
role.
at Tennessee.
Know your role.
Let's keep it kosher.
So, fellas, I guess I'll ask this to continue down the Hornet tree, the conversation. Where do y'all see the Hornets finishing at this year? Are they playing? Are they top 6?
They playing, but I'd say maybe.
All right. So do you think they can make it out the play-in this year? Then, if you're saying they playing,
I think so. I think Lee gonna have that group together by mid-season. We're gonna be clicking. I like Charles Lee for them.
Yeah, because right now the East is wide open.
Yeah, and Lee lets them be them. So right now, what the biggest thing we seeing and we bashing Grant about, and even Melo, and I go at Melo, Lee is letting them be the best version of them, and it's not gonna backfire. By mid-season, they're going to be clicking. Hopefully, Mark Williams can come in and be who he was looking like he was going to be.
We just need
him.
We need him
because he was rebounding, blocking. We need him.
I hope so.
So, right now, you got Detroit at 7, us at 8, Indiana at 9, Brooklyn at 10.
And we can be better than
we can be better than all of them.
So, right now,
and we can beat all of them.
Yep, all of them, exactly.
To kind of segue into something we're gonna get to. So right now you got Orlando at 3 and Cleveland at 1.
Mm-hmm.
So more than anything, Cleveland has to be the biggest surprise right now.
Oh yeah,
killing it.
You jumping the gun? Don't jump the gun.
I'm sorry about that, but I don't feel like a lot of even with Orlando at 3, I don't feel like it's gonna be a lot of stability that's gonna sustain to where once the Hornets get healthy, they can literally push for that 6th spot.
And they could be better than Orlando
to get out of that play. You know what I mean? So I feel like
truthfully, it'll be a blessing if Orlando go to 2 and the Hornets get that second play-in spot and end up matching up.
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna take all day.
Yeah.
That part, but we can even get to that 6th spot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Like with Miami right now, it's crazy. We're hearing so much. Let's trade Jimmy, let's do this. So,
I wouldn't be mad at a Miami matchup.
I wouldn't be mad at that right now.
We can match up with them really good with a healthy Hornets.
We put ourselves in a position to match up with a lot of different teams at different moments.
Yeah.
And I feel like, we're talking about Grant now, but Grant provides that. He provides that. I'm not going to compare him to this, but he provides that Draymond Green type of role for us. He's gritty. Where he can guard a 3 through 5.
Okay,
he's gonna fight them.
We can switch out in the 1 and 2s.
Just not decision making.
No, decision making is terrible. I give you that.
More so is defensively. Grant gives us
he has brain.
A lot of flexibility.
He can 3 through 5. He can guard.
A lot of flexibility defensively. What you need right now in the NBA. I mean,
no, for sure.
You're not going to see an Embiid every night. You're not going to see Cat every night. I mean,
or Jokic,
or I'm just talking about the East. You're not going to see a Giannis every night. But honestly, we've actually gotten Milwaukee's number since Melo been in the league. We've actually took over that particular matchup. But who else in the East? Nobody. There's no big in the East.
Yeah,
except for Embiid. So you're talking about now we're matching up with long wings and forwards.
Yeah.
That's playing the center like
Miles
Adebayo.
Bridges the only big left, outside of Indiana. Right. Miles Bridges. Even Boston plays 5 out. I mean,
Horford old.
Well, Cleveland has the little twin tower.
Oh yeah, Cleveland is actually big,
and we better than Atlanta
for sure.
Yeah. So
Miami got Bam. They playing long. So
I don't think it'd be a stretch for us to land 5 or 6. The thing is that I think we could be 5 or 6 or 10th.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it just depends
on. That's the great part about it. It's health is the key for it. I mean, get Melo through a full, even 75 games. We'll give you 7 games to goddamn go, BS or not be able to get that back to back. But give me 75. 75 can qualify you for everything else you would. Actually, 65 does, but give me 75.
How many wins we get, fellas?
I'd say we five. We over 500 or right at the cut. I think that we three above 300.
It was that 45, 44 range win range.
That's close to the same. Yeah.
I don't see us 50 yet.
Yeah.
You know, but I see us mid 40s, at least breaking 500 for sure.
Yeah,
over 500. I think over 500 in the East this year will at least get you at least 7 to 6. I mean 5 through 7. You know, over 400, over 500 because we under 500 at 8th. So I think a little bit. I think 2 or 3 games over 500 will get you anywhere between 5 and 7.
And what I'm seeing, like I said, we ain't even really clicking yet.
No.
See, Melo gonna start trusting them boys, and I know me and Q still gonna be going back and forth on Facebook.
I don't be putting the laughing emoji.
Right. But all in all, I'm not putting Trey Mann over Melo. Melo is the guy.
Okay,
He's
and so I got 2 quick ones before we get off of the Hornets. Trey Mann, what should we do with him?
Keep him.
For sure. Do we eventually segue him into the starting lineup? Do we push him as the Lou Will?
We keep him
6-man of the year.
Lou Will, Ginobili type role.
Hero, Tyler Hero. You are 6 guy.
Come off as a player that has a starters.
You
game,
get the buckets.
Playing against second level players.
Yeah.
Okay.
The buckets.
So there's consensus on that. Would y'all say Brandon Miller? Is he going to take the big jump this year, or does he have like one more year until he makes that?
What's the jump?
The jump would be. Did you watch the Indiana game?
Yeah.
Where he scored 17 in that quarter?
Yeah.
Like that version of the player where like he could be reliable for 25 a night.
No, I tell you, you want me to answer this?
Go ahead.
I feel like with that lineup, it's gonna sound crazy to y'all, but I don't start Brandon Miller. I let him play with Trey Mann. That make us more deadly.
So who starts in the spot?
You can start anybody. Cody? You can Cody. You can start Seth, depending on how the matchups is.
I'm gonna tell you who.
But I bring Mann in with Miller. I like what I seen with that. I bring both of them in. You won't have no Miles, no Melo. You let them take their breather, and you let them two go to work.
So do you want a 4-minute starter? So, and I say a 4-minute starter. So we're gonna go back to like listening to the podcast with Quinn Cook and Dwight. So JaVale McGee said basically I was a 4-minute starter. You know, I basically started the game and I started the second half.
Yeah.
I didn't play none after that. You know what I mean? So you want a player in that role that so hypothetically, we putting Josh Green as a starter just because you don't want him to not come up because you want Brandon Miller and Trey Mann to come off the bench?
Well, this is why I say this, because we all know as coaches, right? When you start too much firepower, it's going to be clashing. So you got to have some alphas with guys that's not. Okay. And then when you make your subs, you bring if you take your alpha out.
Talking about the highest level of basketball, though, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That shit work on AAU in high school. We talking about. I gotta match Brandon Miller with a Paul George. I gotta match Brandon Miller.
But that'll work though.
You know what I mean? But I can't have him come off the bench because I don't want him to play with Melo.
Yeah, and to me, I think that ends up being
Melo. But where does he come in for your points? Is he your third option now? Because you got Miles Bridges on the floor.
Well, no, I would say that Brandon Miller is the second option.
He's the second option for sure.
Miles Bridges is almost like he's between third and fourth. But Trey Mann sometimes is the third option.
So we talking about that finish lineup you have on the court for us offense. We talking about Melo, Trey, Brandon, Miles, and so I had Taj. You know, or whoever's playing good.
Like
maybe Cody or maybe Devontae
or
what. So we talking about within that 4. Yeah, Miles maybe finishing 4th.
But he's scoring though.
No, but that's the.
But even how he plays the game right now, it almost seems like he kind of
literally go for 10 straight.
Yeah.
Without the defense focus on you, but at the same time, as my second option, Brandon Miller, they're still literally drawing defenses to stop me.
Yeah.
And I'd also say Brandon Miller, I think that it would do it's certain players, and even from where he was drafted at, the player that he's projected to be, I think that it'll do him more damage bringing him off the bench.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I'm saying that in a bad way.
Oh,
where
yeah.
I think
don't
that
think so.
I think that would take away a little. It's almost. I don't see him as like a Lou Williams. There's certain players that are made to be able to.
Trey Mann is a Lou Williams.
Trey Mann, like he understands, I've been shorted, and I'm gonna come in and go crazy.
Plus,
in which like Brandon Miller is more so. I'm supposed to be this.
Yeah.
And if I don't come off, if I'm not starting, this is a slight to what my potential is. Well, and I think that will affect his entire game. But to what you're saying, I think it's rotations. And this is what like Boston does with Tatum and Brown.
Right.
Where like they'll sub strategically to where they both can get their own 6 minutes.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying Miller don't belong as a starter, but from what I've seen, when he does rotate players,
but to me, he might be the first. He might be the first sub at like the 6 minute mark. But then he comes back in at like
Melo.
the 2.
Yeah.
And then he plays almost like the next 6 to 8 minutes. And Melo comes back in usually like 4 minute mark in the second quarter.
Right.
Where he gets like him in that second unit as the one.
Right.
Like the main play. That's how I would do it.
Right.
Right. And you put
without
Melo
around
him, you're putting Trey Mann right there beside him. And even if you want to bring in a Josh Green, right now, Grant Williams, I know you keep hating.
I'm quiet.
What you're presenting is a lineup to where, even though they're focused on Brandon, I have pieces around me that allow me to still be that dude.
Right. Yeah, with Seth, that's a shooter.
You still start him, but you stagger the minutes to, like you say, where both of them have a moment to be that dude, but not the other dude.
1A.
And I'm for that. That's what I'm saying. With the rotation, that's basically what I'm saying. No matter how you do it, the minutes, I feel like
just don't put my boy on the bench to start the game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean he has to start,
even if he don't have to do that.
He's the second overall pick, and you don't want. We've had an overall pick number 2 that
Gilchrist
turned out to
be
hurt.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So to where we
that hurt
the bench.
If that was Anthony Davis for our.
Well,
oh no, he got drafted.
So
right?
What that is for us is that we missed out on Rudy Gay.
There we go.
Brandon Miller, got them Harrison Barnes. Which I thought Jordan was going to go with the Carolina pick and take Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Pair Harrison Barnes with Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Pair Harrison Barnes with Rudy Gay. Pair Harrison Barnes with Bradley Beal.
All of these
Kemba
ones.
Walker. You know, we're talking about Kemba Walker with either one of those options outside of Michael Gilchrist.
Like any of them. It could have just been any of them.
Kemba
It's like we found a way to pick the worst possible. But that is a bit of the history of the Hornets in their drafting. We'll get one out of like every 6.
Because you fall in that spot to where it's like you're taking the best player left versus.
I'm surprised they went Melo.
You know what I mean? Like even when you took Cody, Vonleh, and somebody and Frank Kaminsky, all in this clearly in consecutive drafts, all of them supposed to be stretch 4s. You know,
I was surprised we went Melo, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was surprised we went Melo.
I mean,
and I'm not saying he's not worthy.
Who else were we supposed to get in that draft other than Melo?
Look, I think in that same draft, didn't we pass on Shai Gilgeous? Didn't we trade him the same night? Didn't we draft him and trade him?
Draft Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Like, come on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, we
I had to think up. I got to do the history.
Yeah, bro. Like we drafted Shai Gilgeous.
That's the Spencer Hall's trade.
Yeah.
I think that's the Spencer Hall's trade that brought Spencer.
And I heard that like a month ago. I was like, yo, I had to look it up.
No, you got to think about we had Tobias Harris. We traded Tobias Harris for Biyombo. For Biyombo, we traded.
Man, the Shai Gilgeous hurt though.
The Shai Gilgeous
that hurt.
It was another one that hurt as well because we traded that pick for goddamn PJ Harrison.
Oh man.
Yeah. Fellas. Yeah. I guess this is kind of a good time to start segueing into the NBA talk. So I guess I'll start with you, Trey. Sleeper. Who was your sleeper team this year?
Sleeper team. OKC. I've been telling people all last year. Even though they look good last year, I think they're the next to be one of those beasts, beasts from the West teams that's going to win a championship with the right piece. Not this year, but I just think they're going to land the piece that they need, whether it's a blockbuster, before the deadline or somebody not happy. But they're one piece away from being a team that can win it all.
They remind me of the OKC with KD.
Yeah, with KD, yeah.
And James Harden, Jeff Green, like to where
that was a lot
the
of
names. The names may not resonate for stardom,
but they
on the national level. But if you watch basketball and you know basketball,
that Jalen Williams kid, Chet coming live now.
Talking about Isaiah Joe, you talking about Aaron Wiggins. You talking about they have
they got a good formula over there.
A good formula, bro. Like to where it's not going to be that star team, that star player that's for them. It's going to be.
It's like how the Warriors gelled good together. They drafted all the right players.
If that coach and GM can keep building to what they're trying to.
But the thing is, even if they don't get that star, my bad. Even if they don't need that star, they do have that star.
No,
Lamelo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
finished second in MVP voting last year, didn't he?
He's a player.
Something else, man.
He is a player.
He's so different.
He is.
And
it looked effortless too when you watch him.
So my son,
what they call it, nonchalant.
Yeah, my son don't like him.
He don't
because
he's so smooth.
Because he make it look so easy.
Man, it looked too easy.
So like Luka and Shea, for some reason, Zabi like, man, they like him. He's like they play lazy. It's like, no,
they're just that good, man. And
that's how good they are to where they can play at their own pace, and it makes it look boring to you. But they buzzing ass,
man. Shea is balling on rookie mode, bro. He got a creative player, and he balling on rookie.
Bro, that's about the best way to put that shit.
Yeah,
balling on rookie mode,
because you get what you want on rookie. You get every shot. You get
all
every
the stars,
move
make all of yeah, bro. Like that was the best way to put that shit, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Different. OKC for me, OKC is definitely not necessarily
not a sleeper, but
Cleveland.
Yeah,
Cleveland. This is for you.
Yeah.
Like right now.
But would you put Cleveland as your sleeper or your surprise?
Surprise.
Because
they my
to
surprise.
Me, they more of like the surprise team is more than like the sleeper.
I'm not gonna say surprise for me because I seen it how they got to the 4th place last
year. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and they did that with a hurt Darius Garland.
Yeah.
So like they're healthy now. So for me, it's not necessarily a surprise. It's more so like the NBA sleeping on what they really got going on.
And I'm gonna tell you one more sleeper, Q. And I seen them last night.
I got my two.
Spurs. I'm gonna say why, because I watched that Castle kid and he's gonna be really good
So I guess I don't want to retract back to like going to college, but any kid out of UConn, I'm gonna take any kid out of UConn. They coach is
he's a genius, man.
Yeah, Hurley, he
takes straight from his daddy, bro. Like,
but like what he put them kids through. If you are a freshman playing for them and with meaningful minutes
for him, you like that.
But more than just like that, like you got it here,
and
like
everywhere.
Like you are the complete player. Like literally, the number one player in the nation can't play at UConn.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I agree with that.
Right.
It takes a very specific kid.
You ain't seen no top 25 kid commit to UConn.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy though. Like the motherfucker that's back-to-back champions.
You right.
There has not been a top 25 player say, hey.
But he got his formula though. He know what he's looking for.
In which I think Stephen Castle, he was close to top 25.
He may have been him,
but he was perfect for their program.
He was.
Like the top 5, they usually can't. They wouldn't be able to. They'd be too close to prima donnas.
Didn't he get him in the portal?
No, Stephen. He was a freshman. He was all McDonald's All American.
Who did he get in the portal? He got one kid.
He got a bunch of kids. The first year he won, he that was a portal team.
That was a portal team.
Yeah.
From Jackson to the kid that didn't shoot. Everybody was portal. But the second one, that was damn near home built. You know what I mean? Like that was kids that he literally went and got himself. Not that wasn't there, you know what I mean? But one thing I will say, and being a coach, you have to study a craft. And you have to be very humble in how you do that. You can't watch something like, well, I know this, and literally don't learn from it.
Yeah.
So for me, to watch what he's done at UConn was more so watching what his dad did at St. Anthony's.
Yeah. Yeah.
He built the program in New Jersey. You talking about the Cal Andersons, the Kyrie Irvins, like Kid Gilchrist's, you know what I mean? Talking about kids that he's touched, Isaiah Briscoe's, he touched, you know what I mean? Kids like that to where it's like, it's a formula in the family.
St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's. I mean, St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
Like St. Anthony, St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
But forgive me. But just watching that and then watching Bobby go to Arizona State.
Yeah.
And do what he did.
Yeah.
And do what he's done. You know what I mean? He may not have won, you know, he turned a program that wasn't anything since James Harden left into a reputable program.
Yeah.
To where his brother takes UConn from Kevin Ollie going through what he went through, win the championship, dropping the bag, to like UConn is the standard.
Man, what?
Yeah, and the thing is, he's still a student of the game. Where I remember looking at, because now I guess the big thing is they do the training camps or the different little things, and they post it on YouTube. And I remember watching a UConn one where. And he be on his assistants' asses too, and he was like, "Do y'all got that the Serbian set from da 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 da?" And then you have it planned out for this practice, and like he's on top of it. But again, understanding like you looking at a Serbian set,
that's Serbian,
but that's where the basketball is at, though,
bro. Like right now, what everybody is running right now.
That's all over there. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's running Spain action right now. Yeah. Everybody's running goddamn Serbian action. Everybody's running that goddamn Germany action. Everybody's running that France. Bro, it's universal right now. If you ain't tapped in outside of your norm, you slacking as a coach.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even a coach, as a film videographer, whatever you may be, or trainer. If you're not tapped in every culture, you're doing yourself a disservice.
A disservice,
No, it's a fact, and that's what I think. Was it last conversation we was having, where I think that my favorite thing about basketball right now is looking at the evolution of just the different versions of split actions, that are coming. And that's even when you get into the Spain the actions and different things like that. The 3-man splits is. And that's what got Golden State their championships. Is their system is built off, and the Spurs also is built off of understanding and reading 3-man splits and like the different actions that you can do. And the combination is almost limitless. Where, you know what I mean, especially when you just end up having a little backside motion as well.
I'm gonna kill you with something right now. Do you know that all that is a triangle offense expanded?
Well, I've heard that, and then like Princeton, a lot of it ends up being like a lot of those different versions.
All
of
the
it.
action is literally the triangle offense expanded out to the 3-point line. So all the motion that you see that 3-man, that was a triangle.
Yeah.
Then you had the backside, the back screen, switch, all that right there. So it's basically all that is just the triangle offense expanded to where we thought that it was so boring watching Jordan just go to the mid post.
Yeah.
Now you watch the mid post becomes the split action initiator.
Yeah.
Now I got the backside back screen to where you wonder why Clay's so open all the time, because if you watch, it's a back screen. Clay sets a screen, and there's another back screen. While the action going up for Curry, so now there's no help side.
Right.
And you put that shit in the sense to where you can't sit in the lane in the NBA to where now it's 3-second violation, to now you take it to college and high school to where you're not trained elite to really put your head on the swivel and see all this shit.
See all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action.
And going to what was that? Was it that? It was a Duke action that we watched earlier.
Yeah.
What ends up making a lot of that so dangerous is when you have a ball handler, 2 shooters, and then a shooter all the way in the corner.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, you was getting on the nail guy, but I
Yeah,
almost
I
imagine
already know
likely
it's a shooter in the corner.
Yeah,
It's a
he
shooter
can't
right
leave
there.
the
so then
corner.
you can't even go too deep because of
that.
Because of that. So it literally you kind of play the game of, do I allow the 3 and take my percentages?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're talking about the analytics of the game. Now that's what we got now to the NBA is where analytics. I'm gonna shoot 63s a game because it's better than shooting 20 mid ranges.
And I lost to Team Curry. Look, man, that you bring. I lost to Team Curry because of that. Shout out to their coach. I ain't gonna say his name. I don't want to give him no credit. You're right. I don't want to give him no credit, but he teaches them guys that NBA philosophy of shooting threes and making threes. If you make more threes, you're gonna win the game because the other team is making 2s. And he beat me, and I was pissed because we had him. We had him.
That's the Boston Celtics philosophy.
Man,
I remember JJ Redick was talking about how he spoke to the coach, and he just said that like we lost the math problem.
Yes.
And where they didn't get up as many threes as the other team.
So Missoula came from Shaka Smart. Shaka Smart, implemented that same type of philosophy.
Makes sense.
Which was the reason why you had Howard. There was that. I forgot the first name for his first name, but it wasn't Josh. It was something Howard putting up 50 at Marquette.
And look, man, guys, I hate I brought this up because
and we're gonna get back to the league in a second.
Right. I done re-aggravated that. But let me tell you how aggravated I was as a coach about that. I went back to daggone Baller TV and tallied the threes. I'm like, how did I lose this game? How did I'm getting everything I want on defense. How did I? It was the threes, man.
Bro,
it was the threes.
Which is crazy is like what we have to learn is that, I mean, even with me coaching right now, like I literally coach the transition 3.
Yeah.
I've stopped coaching the 45-degree angle layup.
Right.
I literally coach the
transition 3. Get to that corner.
Kick
it up.
Get to the corner, and then when you touch the corner, if you ain't got it, now you start sliding back up.
Yeah.
To be shot ready.
Yeah. Be shot ready.
Which is so crazy. Like literally, you think about 10 years ago, I'm in practice teaching them 45-degree angle cuts.
That was it.
Get to the timeline, 45-degree angles. Get there.
The big running, drag screen. Get downhill.
Oh man. But what? Yeah.
I hate that I got. I'm sorry.
Give me back.
All right, so I'm gonna give my sleepers. Again, this is a podcast that's gonna be aimed for the casuals all the way to coaches.
Yes,
and
sir.
where sometimes we are gonna get basketball nerdy, and I think that's kind of the fire part about it. My sleepers, I would say, New York in the East, Memphis in the West. Those are my 2. I think Memphis is showing improvement. This is going to be their first year back healthy in the past 2 years. I want to say because Bane and not what's the kid with the hair? I forget his name.
Wells.
It's not even Wells. It's he's
Clark.
Yes, Clark.
Yeah, Brandon Clark is back.
Yeah, because the year before he ended up getting hurt
towards Achilles.
Yeah, and he's a big piece of what they did as well.
He's developed a good outside shot right now to where he's becoming a threat to where you gotta close outside that corner.
Yeah, so I think Memphis, they'll be interesting. I think if New York could just figure it out.
I was gonna say that Q. They killing my parlays. New York, y'all gonna hear me say this a lot. New York, stop doing that shit and get it right. All right, Q, you got it.
That's all I had. Those would be my sleepers.
So I'm gonna give you one more sleeper. And I don't know if we actually realize how well they're playing. Houston.
Yeah, they are.
I was just looking at that.
Right now, Houston is actually 3rd in the West right now. Behind OKC and goddamn Golden State.
Young guns.
Well, I'm not mad. And the thing is,
talking about what's the name? Ndoku?
Udoka.
Ndoka. So we seen what he did with Boston in his first year finals. Now you actually have some
A
defenders.
little box shouldn't make you lose your job. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
A little box should definitely, especially
Shout out
when
to
the
the
box
box.
is consensual.
Shout
Consensual
out to
box
the
should
box.
not make you lose your job. Consensual box.
Shout out to that box.
Sorry that the box was goddamn tied to somebody else though, but shit,
Right.
she gave up the box.
Right.
It was consensual.
Oh man,
Brush and lost his job.
Right. Again, this is the basketball podcast. We're talking about the boxing one. That they put in. They got him to the NBA finals. Or
Right.
was it
Straight like that.
Right. Shout out to the box.
Hey, good play. Great play. Great play. You just got to implement it at the right areas and the right time.
Right, at the right time.
Okay. So right now is we're what 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
This would be a good time for just some bold predictions.
Yeah.
NBA finals, NBA championship. Talk to me. We'll start with Wayne this time.
Okay.
Who you got in NBA finals and who's winning the chip this year?
I have a repeat from the 2022 finals of Boston and Golden State.
Ooh. I like that actually.
I have Boston and Golden State, and I have it going 7.
Who wins?
I got Boston in 7. Got Boston in 7. Sad. I'm lying. I got Curry in 7. What you talking about?
that.
He from the city, bro. What you talking about? Curry from the city, bro.
Right.
Like we got game 7.
Hey, I'm gonna say this
all the way, bro. I see that for sure.
In my mind, if Curry get another one, I'm putting him over LeBron.
And I was about to say, 'cause I seen your post and you said that.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'm gonna say
if Curry get that 5.
But I'm gonna say Q. Me and you like to disagree and agree on a lot of things, but when I seen that, people don't give Steph his flowers.
Like
I think right now it's
Steph
arguable.
at 6'3" and 6'4", take his team and wins another finals, another finals MVP.
But Wayne, even before
and with
this,
less talent this
With
time.
less talent, and he's the all-time lead. So you can't say, well, Bron's the all-time leading scorer.
no.
Curry's the all-time leading 3. So every 3 he shoot is making a record the same way.
and he shoots farther back than everybody else.
So you
Let's
trying
talk
to tell
about
me
that.
if this 6'3" guard takes this team
They're shooting from half court,
that ain't got not 1 7-foot on their team,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't belong on the Rushmore. Let's talk about that.
They don't want to give him no credit. That light-skinned, green-eyed motherfucker.
Listen,
I'm trying to tell you.
I think that
he got it. He got it, bro. Like you
he
can't
do.
It sounds like
I got in an argument with somebody over that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you good. I'm just saying. I was advocating for Curry on the Rushmore, and he was like, "Nah, you crazy." And all he is a shooter. I said, "No, but you got to look at
what he championship surpasses Magic."
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But you got to look at what he does and how he impacts the game for his team.
Our dads don't want to hear that shit.
No, they don't.
Our unks don't want to hear that. But if Curry gets another ring, I'm sorry, Magic. I love you, Magic.
Right.
Oh no, I got him about Magic.
You got to
right
understand,
now.
Magic. You only had 10 years.
Curry is a legend.
We forget about that now. Think about that. Magic only played 10 years.
That's an efficient 10 though. If he got
An efficient 10.
If he got 4 and 10, how many MVPs he had?
4.
Yeah, now that's an efficient 10.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that. He
touched
10.
the finals, I think, all but 2 years.
Yeah, I'm not mad. But he also came into a loaded team.
But look,
and that ends up being a difference.
Yeah, for sure. I'm talking about what Curry going with 16.
Look at the last team Curry won with. That wasn't souped up.
Nah,
they old. They
were just their draft picks.
Right.
That was just their draft.
Just their draft pick. It wasn't nothing souped up.
You talking about that was no Bogut. That was nothing. That was nothing to trade. And that was Kevon Looney drafted, Draymond Green, Clay,
Moody,
Kaminga,
Gary Payton Jr.
Curry,
Right?
Gary Payton
Jr.
Gary Payton Jr. Maybe the only he was undrafted.
Yeah, I'm about to say he was a G League.
He played with their G League team.
G League, right?
So you talking about, and only one was Iguodala that came from Philadelphia. That was the only trade.
But he got minimal.
And he broke his thumb, and I want to say in the finals, I think.
Yeah, no, he was just cheerleading.
Right.
So Otto Porter.
Robert Ory.
Yeah, I mean, like they had little pieces that was
outside the
role players that was, but again, it was Jordan Poole. We forgot Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole
drafted.
Got him.
Yeah,
drafted.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I forgot about Jordan Poole that fast.
Yeah, nonetheless, it sounds like we have further Again, I'm one that pushes the envelope. I think that there's an argument when it comes down if this past era was the Curry era or the Bron era.
Right.
I think it's an argument there. I think
So
Curry, like he puts it in stone if he wins one more.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're talking about from 2015 to now.
Yeah, fellas, but wait. I think that we would dive into that. I want to get y'all. We got to get y'all takes. You said Boston, Golden State in the finals. Game 7. Curry wins it. Okay. Trey, talk to us.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see Boston going back. I don't know if I sound crazy, Wayne, but
who you got?
I say we get one of those teams that we was talking about. Like you mentioned, New York,
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. I think we might get one of those guys in there this year, and on the West, I'm going with OKC, man. I just think OKC is. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't know if I'm being a little biased, but I just think they are the team in the West. I mean,
they got a lot of size and skill. It just is what it is. Like, to me, J-Dub is he's the X factor because he can just do it all at 6'8".
He shoots it,
and then you got Chet cleaning it up. You got Shea. He's a 6'6"
out his mind
point guard.
They got damn near a complete team.
Yeah.
The only thing that they're missing is just age. That's it.
Yeah, a veteran. Yeah, like you said. Yeah,
which Caruso.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Like it's,
I forgot.
The person that got a ring that's been there. He's been around the ultimate vets.
I say Cleveland, OKC.
The LeBrons,
that'll be my prediction.
The Rondos. I mean, like Caruso is actually, he came into a crazy situation where he learned from the best.
Yeah, he was the original Austin Reeves.
I give you
the original Austin Reeves, bro.
Yeah. Cleveland, OKC.
Cleveland, OKC. Who winning it?
That's my prediction.
You giving Shea his first kick?
I'm giving Shea.
Okay.
I gotta go with Shea.
I got you.
Who you got, Q?
I'm gonna just be biased. I want not OKC. Golden State.
Yeah.
The East is such a toss up.
Yeah, it is. He's at that point right now where LeBron was over there.
Yeah. And the teams that I would have went with beforehand, which would have been Philly and Milwaukee, they trash.
Yeah, super trash.
But
let's do the health.
But
it's still early.
That
it's
is
still early though.
Yeah,
you're talking about 2-11 and 4-9 for both of them.
I'm gonna go irrational. I am gonna go with Philly and Golden State. Golden State pulls it out.
That's a nice.
In this, I would also say.
Interesting.
I'm gonna give my rookie of the year, which is Jared McCain.
Yes, sir. Dude.
He's balling.
Hey, hold on, y'all see?
He's going crazy right now.
Y'all see it?
Rookie of the year,
going super crazy.
Well, right now he's become the most. Like I think he put up like 25, 26 last night.
Back to back.
He put up about 30 on the horn. Like he's been going back to back to back.
Crazy. That's why Maxi's sitting out because they know what they're doing.
Maybe, but I know that McCain, because I thought the Hornet game was a fluke. But then I seen him do it 2 more nights, and I'm like, wait, he's out playing Paul George right now.
But you got to think about it, Q. We seen this kid and before college.
I remember him playing against Rob. I remember him playing against Rob Dillingham.
Yeah, he got a pro game
with Team Why Not.
Yep, pro game
inside the Peach Jam Championship.
Yep, he got a pro game
when Rob was with CP3.
Yeah, pro game. Yeah.
Now Jared has been balling.
No, he has. Who you gonna put over in rookie of the year?
Who you going? Sar? You going? Rishashay? You
Hell
going?
No, not
Rishashay been hooping though for Atlanta though. I mean, I don't think
Jared McCain.
I done seen 37. I think
I seen 37 at Rishashay.
Yeah,
I know he had one explosion. I haven't seen him be consistent.
Yeah. Okay,
but he might. This is just my dark horse. I'm just throwing out mine.
No, I agree with Jared McCain. I like that. He a dookie, so I'm agreeing.
So you talking about you got Zach Edey averaging 11 right now.
Yeah, Zach Edey gonna be
11 and 6. You got Bub Carrington for Washington Wizards, Jalen Wells for the Grizzlies, Ryan Dunn.
Yeah, they got 2 of them.
Ryan Dunn for Phoenix Suns. Sar.
I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be
Risha
nice
Shar.
too. Connect.
They got Connect up.
I watched him in March Madness,
but he ain't gonna get enough chance to be.
He's not gonna get enough shot opportunities.
Yeah, Reeves in front of him.
No, you all right.
I think McCain found his mark.
McCain. I'm also gonna look at. I think Risha Shaw is playing a lot more minutes right now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's getting an opportunity to play a lot more minutes to where it's providing opportunity to produce more.
Mm-hmm.
In which McCain, he's taking them
McCain,
Eric Gordon.
I don't think I can think about.
He done took
him
Reggie Williams and Eric Gordon minutes.
Now, when everybody gets healthy, does that?
But I think he's going to eventually move into that starting lineup.
Yeah, he is.
I
think there wasn't they starting Eric Gordon at one point.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard for him to see because we haven't seen their full healthy lineup.
Yeah, I think Maxwell, Jared McCain,
Paul
PG,
George, Embiid,
and then that's where you put McCain in there. You put one more player with size that can stretch because PG can play the three. And McCain's not a PG either. Like he's a two, but he also knows how to just play the game well.
Mm-hmm. Now I ask you this because we just had that debate with Charlotte. Do you start McCain or do you let him come off and do what he do?
Well, it depends on how what are the other options? Yeah. And I mean, if it makes more sense to have a floor spacer like Eric Gordon, then I think that's cool.
Yeah.
As long as he's giving you you see that he can produce.
Oh, see, you started Kelly Oubre at the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But no, they've moved him to the bench though.
Yeah.
I want Kelly.
Like I look, I'm about to say I looked at it like last night.
If I'm healthy, I want Maxey, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, Embiid. So we were talking about at the 4 spot.
Or maybe you do that lineup with whatchamacallit, McCain.
You could because you could put
Caleb Martin.
No, I'm doing McCain before him. I think McCain can shoot better, and they make the same basketball decisions. To me, I like. Was we talking about this last time?
Or do I start someone I really don't care about taking out within the 4 minutes and bringing in McCain?
But that's the Eric Gordon
or KJ Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. But to me, Martin's more of a rotational piece, in my opinion.
He is. I mean, but you could be a rotational piece and still start though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming up in the first TV timeout anyway, and I'm not gonna play again to mid-second quarter.
Right.
Nah, true enough. All right, so fellas, give me your biggest disappointment. Trey, talk to me.
The Knicks. They killing parlays. The Knicks, man, I hate y'all, man. The Knicks is,
they killing parlays right now.
Yeah, they the parlay killers. So if y'all watching, do not put no money line or no spreads on the Knicks.
That's what I don't do for the Knicks. No,
keep them out of there.
Knicks is just Jalen Brunson plus 20.
Right.
Karl Anthony Towns, double.
And that ain't even guaranteed no more.
And Josh Hart plus 6 rebounds.
Yeah, now I go on this rebound. Brunson been selling, though, on the 20-point games this year.
Yeah, he
has, bro. I mean, and we know he can do it. So Brunson, get off that bullshit. New York, get off that bullshit.
And I go Mikal Bridges plus 10.
Okay.
I go him plus 10.
He good for
Other
10
than that,
points.
it's over.
Yeah. That's my biggest disappointment. Sure.
So the biggest disappointment I have thus far, which is kind of crazy, is Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee, and I will say Milwaukee and Dallas.
I would say Dallas. I was going to say that too. So my West is Dallas.
My West is Dallas.
And Philly. They look
well, Philly gets a pass. They're not healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at teams that have been healthy with your star players.
Right.
So we're talking about healthy star players. I'm looking at Dallas for sure. You've had Kyrie, Luka, you've had Clay. You've had Gafford and Lively. So, you got both of your bigs and your 4 scorers.
Was Cat and Julius Randle a good trade?
I like it for both teams.
Okay. What about you, Q?
I think it makes sense. I think that New York just has to gel, to be honest. I would say with it worked amazingly for Minnesota.
Yeah,
because
you got off of 2 centers. You had 2 centers start. You had one at the 4 and one at the 5. Cat wasn't healthy, and Anthony Edwards was getting frustrated with that dude.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately for the hometown kid, I think it worked out horrible. Rob Dillingham.
Oh man.
But I would also say that like DiVincenzo was amazing for them. Where
it was a major hit for New York though. Wow.
No, that's what he's saying.
Yeah,
like basically,
like that was such a big
that hurt.
Yeah, it hurt New York, but it helped Minnesota amazingly. Because that was one of the things that they actually was missing, which was another person that could just put the ball in the basket consistently and shoot it from the three.
But that takes away from Dillingham.
Well, but that's why I said that's why I said like that. That's
slow motion.
That's where it hurts the hometown kid, in which I think eventually he'll find his motion and he'll get.
He's 19, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
you Gucci.
Oh yeah.
But they got Julius Randle, and they needed somebody else that could
Western
just.
Conference Finals last year. Like,
yeah,
I'm not looking for a rookie to get me over the hump.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's going to be somebody that later in the year will start to blossom. Playoffs, he'll see some minutes.
Yeah.
But I think Julius Randle was big, just based off of the fact that like they needed somebody else that knew how to get like easier buckets. Cat can score, he can shoot, but he don't get it easy enough,
like he should be.
Yeah, where like he gets you the muscle buckets.
But also, I think not to cut you off, I feel like Randle allowed Minnesota to keep Nas Reeves in the role that kept him effective.
Mm-hmm.
So you was talking about before the Julius Randle. It's more so, Nas gonna start. Nas should start over Cat. Now you keep Nas in a role that he was successful in. Put more pressure on him to have to be more than what he is right now.
Yeah,
Nas is a good spark off the bench that can handle that bitch. Get to the Baja, shoot the three.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want what he gives you 38 minutes a game, though.
Yeah.
You want it at 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Julius going to play those minutes where him and Julius can play together. So now we're playing a 5 out, and with Ant shooting that bitch the way he is, I got Jaden McDaniel DM the way he do. It's like their record is not indicative of what they can be, but I see what they're trying to build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It like I say, it's early, and they would be a.
But both teams moved big pieces to where like it's just an adjustment period, and that's where, again, like with Minnesota, I think eventually it's going to make sense and it's going to work. Cat just got to find his place, but Villanova players just know how to play ball, and they got enough Villanova players. Those are 2 feet jump stop players, and which like you can trust them in general. That's what I say. I think where were we at? Biggest disappointments.
Yeah.
I piggyback off of yours, which would be Milwaukee. I think that everybody thought that last year when that trade happened, Dame and Giannis, it would mean something. I think we're just like being privy to how bad of a coach Doc Rivers is. Maybe
that I feel like it's a bad collective of talent. Everything is not.
But my thing is that they weren't.
There's nothing complimentary with each other.
But they weren't bad until Doc got there.
Yeah.
And the issue was that the coach before him, what's his name? He got a son that went to Duke.
Agent Griffin.
Yeah, his son AJ. But yeah, so with Griffin, their issue was that he was too disciplined. He was holding them too accountable,
That's
like
crazy,
they needed
bro.
like. Because they came from Budenholzer,
who came from Popovich.
But like I guess he was more of a chill coach, kind of let things kind of, in which he was holding them accountable for whether it was the rotations, bad shots, XYZ.
He was trying to make his imprint on his team,
But they also was doing well. I think they were
13-3.
Yeah, like they
13-3 when they fired him, bro.
Yeah, like
they were 13-3 when they fired, bro.
They were doing amazing,
and then finished like 5th or 6th or some shit,
and then lost like all the games towards the end of the
year.
Yeah,
no,
that was terrible.
I shout out to Gil's Arena. They always like run down the stat, but Doc and them are like, I think if they win like the next 15, 20 games, they'll still be like breaking even or under 500. Since Doc,
they have 4-9 right now, so they literally have to win 5 straight to get above 500. And not saying it can't be done, but it's like you have talent like that. Like, why is it looking like it's so hard?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, even in a game where I'm pretty sure their fans was like, we're going to Charlotte to get a win.
Right.
What is Doc doing? Because I mean, me and you could win with that roster.
I feel like it's what is Doc not doing?
Right.
It's not
Well, I
necessarily
think
what
a
he's
lot
doing,
of times his ex players speak about this often, and what you hear about Doc is that he's like a Phil Jackson-ish, where he's more of a player management coach than an adjustment coach.
Well, that's why he's had guys around him that are better at the X's and O's. Like
Rondo.
Championship, you had Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like running your
and
defense.
Like literally, you look at defensive, any team that Tom Thibodeau has been associated with has been top 10 defense.
Yeah, shut up. Didn't he? Did
Then
he
you had
invent the ice concept?
You had Lawrence Frank.
Yeah,
who was your offensive guy that think about. He went back-to-back finals with New Jersey with J. Kidd, Richard Jefferson, King Martin. So you've had guys around you that can facilitate your team literally without you being there. To where now they've gotten rid of those particular players, particular staff members, and didn't re. So after the season, you would have thought they would have re-upped and went and got some names, but those names went other places. Yeah, and you can see those other teams facilitating growth in their organization versus where Milwaukee is right now. So it's like, y'all believe in Doc. Y'all gave Doc too much power.
Yeah.
For one, he was good at what he was doing before y'all fired Adrian Griffin, which he was being a good consultant. It was like Doc was in the mix. That's why we hired Doc. He was in the mix. He was helping.
Yeah, but he also dropped the ball at his last 2 coaching jobs, though.
Yeah.
Now the Clippers, there's no way the Clippers didn't get to the finals.
Right. But then he had Philly.
There's no way Philly don't get to the
right. That's what I'm saying. He dropped the ball on both of them. He had Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and Philly too.
Your boy so dirty to where he ain't recovered yet.
Oh, Big Benny.
Y'all literally could, as a coach, like we were just talking about at the beginning. You pour into your players to get the best out of them to where they want to run through a brick wall for you.
Yeah.
To where y'all did the total opposite.
All right, so I think this takes us to a natural segue. But before then, let me ask you this: I imagine is everybody's biggest surprise Cleveland?
Yes.
Fortunately, no.
I would say Cleveland and Orlando.
Okay, Cleveland and Orlando, and that's Orlando without Paul Banchero.
And Orlando still winning without Banchero.
Yeah, they right now they are 8-6 at third in the West, which will put them still in the East. They still would be top
2,
7.
Oh,
because the East, right? I'm sorry, in the West.
Oh, West. All right.
Yeah. If you put Orlando in the West, they still be a top 17.
Oh, and
and that's how I compare how good someone is right now in the East. Is with if you take their record and put them in the West, what would they be at? Right. Like literally, the Hornets would be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Anybody in the 500 in the East would be bottom because Dallas is 6 and 7 at 10th.
Yeah.
So anybody 2 games in the 500 in the East, man. So I'm looking at Orlando would still be a top team in the West.
Okay. So nonetheless, we kind of got to a natural segue to the final question.
Yeah.
Which would be trainers versus coaches. Who has the biggest impact on a kid's development? Again, we was just talking about Doc Rivers and Ben Simmons. Just generally speaking, we all have coached. We all have trained on some level.
Yeah.
What would you say is the bigger impact, trainer or coaches? We'll start with you, Trey. Talk to us.
Trainers and coaches. I'm neutral when it comes to it. Both plays a big part in player development. But if I have to pick one, I'll say the coach. Okay. And the reason why is because you can get a coach that coaches so hard that the player never feels comfortable around that coach and won't play to his full potential. And if you put, I heard a guy say it on Instagram, and it's true. Like if you put a leash on him, on that dog, it's only but so far he can go.
That was Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah. But so now, and I seen that. So me, I try to tell
you want
them
a pit bull on a leash off the leash.
Yeah. So what I do is before every
Yeah.
game for the last 2 years, and I've been getting amazing results from it, is when we get to games like you said, Wayne, we'll practice hard, and I'll play with them, but we'll practice hard. But when we get to every game, I sound like a broken record, and I tell them, I'm like, I sound like a broken record to y'all. Right now, it's no mistakes, and they're looking at me like, I'm like, look, just play through it. If you fall, if you pass the ball out of bounds, I don't care what you do, just play hard. If you can just do that for me every single one, just play hard, and we'll win. If you just play hard, we'll win. And you see those kids, they be like, the parents be like, what do you say to them? Is that because you take the pressure off of them playing perfect? It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have turnovers. You're gonna have that, but the kids think about that. But when you help them not think about that, that's what I delivered to them. Yeah, they like, oh, I ain't. So I'm cool. Yeah, you cool.
Yeah.
Just get back on defense and get a steal or something.
Yeah, you right about that.
Yeah. So the coach, to me, I've seen coaches ruin kids. I've seen coaches so hard to where I've seen a kid that can shoot, and I know he lights out, and he won't shoot because it's like I've seen it. Yeah, because the coach is so driven on this. Is like, I can't mess up. I'll kick it over here. No, but you're the best shooter on the team. You passed up 5 shots. I want you to take at least 3 of them.
But so to play the devil's advocate, so within you, is that the trainer that's saying take those shots, or is that the coach saying take those shots?
Well, that's a good question. Me as a trainer, I'm if whatever I see in the kid, I'm telling them to do.
Okay.
But within whatever the coach is saying. But that's why the coach plays a part, because if you see that this kid, I'm big on, if that kid is in the gym, I'm letting them do him.
Okay.
Everybody know when you coach a team, you got kids that go to training one day, and you got kids that go 3-4 days. That kid that I got towards the end of the year, Chalin, he trains every day. So I tell him, you better shoot that shot.
Yeah.
That ball touch your hand, better you than him.
Let it go.
Let it go.
And what you said Melo said when he walked in the locker room? I work on this.
I work on this. So I play, and it's both. It's but I feel like the coach is the main ingredient, because if he don't allow that kid to be who he is, that's why you see kids bounce around. And everybody don't coach the way, some guys are just straight X's and O's. Last thing, and I'll let you talk, Wayne. When I invested in the USA basketball, that helped me. Because when I would listen to segments with Don Showalter, he said,
that motherfucker fool.
He
said, I like him. I like him.
When you get talent, you can't do all this. You show them a concept, and then let them play off of what they see.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I do. So now my offense is Kyler Perry. If we dribble drive, whatever you see, this the concept. You drive here, you loop behind. If you ain't got that, you drive here, you loop behind. But if you don't got this, you should know to kick it to your brother if you ain't got nothing.
Now you right about that.
That's what I do. I don't do a bunch of run this pin down. I don't do that. You can learn that at the college level. When you with me, you're gonna learn concepts.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna learn
or just the high school level.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess I would say I'm pretty much right along with you. I don't know. We'll see where Wayne lands at, but to me, I do think that it's a couple different things. But I think in basketball, I put confidence as probably like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, deciders of like productivity and effectiveness. Where I have seen kids who have half the skill set of another kid, but because he's so confident, he produces so much more. And again, I think that trainers give you skill set more than anything, but the coach gives you the actual confidence to execute. And I think the coach ends up being able to either take the confidence away or give it fuel.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even when you was like, if you think back to when you was younger, we used to always say, well, you ain't do that in the game. But that's based off of the confidence of that kid. It's not that he didn't have a skill set.
It was
the
confidence to do that.
He didn't have the confidence to do it because he probably was looking like, damn, if I make this one mistake,
my coach taking me
it's
out.
over. And so, like, you'll see kids that will have a high skill set. Cam Reddish is another one of these examples. Like, you could have a high skill set, but if put in the wrong position, wrong situation, the confidence ends up being taken away. Ben Simmons, another example, where like now you're a shell of that version of you. And I think that's exemplary amongst, like, even like from the grassroots all the way up to high school to college, XYZ. That's why it's important to get into the right program in college, the right high school program, and then again the right grassroots program, depending on where you're at inside your development.
Right.
And again, I think that trainers can give amazing skill sets, and it'd be interesting. Like, sometimes you'll see some of these kids, especially if their parents got money. These kids will have amazing
lights out.
Yes, sir.
But again, we didn't get to play this meme. There's also this difference between a kid that's hungry and a kid that get fed.
Yes, sir.
There's a difference between them little kittens and that dog over there. And so, like, that's his own different story, but that still goes into a bit of like that confidence piece. And I think that one of the biggest dictators of that is a coach. And the least that they give a kid, and like the concepts or the ability to understand their role in whatever they're doing, could either help, hurt, hinder, elevate a kid in general. That'd be my take. Wayne, talk to us.
Wayne, before you go, just prime example.
For sure.
Prime example on this topic. Wayne, you hit me up about Justin.
Yeah.
Why? It wasn't about X's and O's. You know what I do.
Yeah.
I put the battery in their back.
Yes, sir.
I tell them they can do it. It's as simple as that. It's the coach.
Hey. So I feel like with the coaches and trainers, it kind of goes hand in hand. You know, I commend the trainers that I see at games.
Those are actually the ones.
Those are the real trainers, because more than anything else, if you're training my child, I want you to see what he's doing, how he's doing it, hear what his coach is asking of him, to understand how you can help him get better for his team. So for me, I'm not training a kid to be just better individually. I'm training a kid in the moment to be the best thing they can be for their team. So being a trainer and a coach is more so like, so if I'm training a kid, I'm at that game. I'm in tune with that coach. I'm asking that coach, like, so what are the things this child is not doing that you want to see them do better based on what you know what you can get from them? And it takes a real trainer and a real coach to come together to be the benefit for that player. Because when it boils down to it, it ain't about neither one of them motherfuckers.
It's about the kid.
It's about the kid.
Yeah.
So in a sense where more recently it's become more of a competition or a versus, it should be more so coach and trainer, or trainer and coach. But like the topic states, is more. It has been more so coaches versus trainer, to where a coach is battling what your trainer is teaching you. You know, and I've seen situations to where, you know, a trainer is trying to make a player in one situation be the player that they've trained in another situation. It doesn't benefit that player or benefit that program, because we don't need that player to be someone else we train. I need that player to be the best version of them for their team in that situation to help them win.
And I'd say this, there is like levels to trainers.
That part
and
too.
like there's some trainers in the area that I do look at and be like, okay, this makes a lot of sense, and I can see the detail of what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
One I shout out is what is it? We Train Fly.
Yes, sir.
She's actually like, this is a female, but she does an amazing job even with boys.
Nah, I met her through I9 Sports.
Oh yeah, she do know Zion. I forgot about that.
She took Zion back when he was maybe 5 years old at I9 Sports. So
yeah,
what you're speaking on is a conglomerate of good people that come into kids' life that at any level can benefit them.
And what I liked about her, and this was because she coached QJ 8th grade year.
Okay.
So she was over there at JMA.
Okay.
And like she kept up with him and a couple of other kids. But what she would do as well, and what she did like moving into 9th grade year, was she had an actual like 3 or 4 year plan for him.
Yep.
She wrote out exactly where they was at. Like it was like inside almost like PDF form. Where there was at, what, you know, like she thought that would be accomplishable freshman, sophomore, XYZ year.
Yeah, goes.
And then she was walking down like these concepts that will help them get there.
Yes, sir.
And it was specified to specifically him.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of players actually having that level, not players, trainers having that level of detail when it comes down to being specific to this kid, this program, and the deficits that kid is at, where a lot of trainers don't go to. Well, there's two things. A lot of trainers don't go to games, and then sometimes trainers go selfishly to games just to see
that part.
Their prize horse try and put up a bunch of points or something.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
I've had to cuss a trainer out trying to do that. It's like, what you train them to do is not necessarily indicative of what they're doing for my program.
Mm-hmm.
And you coming here and promoting what you've done with them for my team is like a slap in my face.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Q remembers this, though. We were down in Rock Hill, and there was a trainer, a light-skinned trainer that was sitting on the baseline that was trying to tell me how to coach my team based on what he's trained what someone on my team to do.
I don't know if I remember this one, but shout out to the light-skinned trainer.
Right.
Light-skinned trainer,
Light-skinned trainer. Shout out to you.
I'm a dark-skinned nigga, so I'm going to never call you light-skinned real quick.
Shout out
but
to
yeah,
the
this particular trainer literally, and when I say this with them understanding how I am as a coach for my kids. Like, this trainer about made me lose it on him based on the fact that I have my boys trained to do what I need to do to win for us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment, he was trying to be a coach versus a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And you the coach.
And I'm the coach.
Right.
And I've never met you.
Right.
So in that sense, it was taken as disrespect. But luckily, there were those around me that calmed me down to let me see what his ultimate reason was there for. But until we had talked, I had this vibe about me like, yo,
like,
if you're going to come to a game, sit on that side versus this side. And out of respect for what I'm doing. And what we have to understand, too, is versus coaches versus trainer, we got to take that versus out going forward. I don't care who you are, what level you are, it has to be a coaches and trainers.
Mm-hmm.
And to piggyback off what you're saying while we on this subject, trainers, please stop. Parents, stop. You don't know what that coach see. You don't know what is basketball is situational. It just like he said, you got your guys trained to run a scheme and do this how you want them to do it. Stop talking to these kids. Because
Trey, what you saying is that they're trying to get them to go ISO against a zone.
Against a zone.
Okay, I got you.
Like this coach got a zone play, a zone buster. That part. Okay, stop telling your kid to go 1-on-4, 1-on-3. He got a zone buster for that. Just watch. Get your camera out and watch what the coach do.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So please just stop it, because I see that all the time, and I'm glad we're talking about this. And I hope guys watch this and see this. Trainers, stay in your lane and let the coach do his. Biggest thing what you said, and I'll take away from this, is come to the game. I can show you a thread
Yes,
right
sir.
now with a kid I train that goes to Mallet Creek. I reached out to his coach personally. Hey, what is his role? What do you have him doing?
That part.
What does he do? Because we'll work on that. We're not going to just do a bunch of tween. No. What do you have him doing? Does he shoot? Does he drive? What does he do? And then we're going to work on that. And he's going to be really good at that for you.
Listen here, when I'm training a kid, especially now, and they're playing for a team, what we talk about in training is where are you getting your shots from?
Right.
And we work on how you're getting those shots from those areas and how to be effective at doing that.
At that area.
I'm not training you 5-7 dribble moves that you're not going to ever use.
Yeah.
Because what I will tell you this right here, I played point guard at a college level. I done brought the ball down from full court to half court. I'm taking at a minimum 5 dribbles, maybe 6 maybe 7 at the most.
And 3 of those dribbles is in back court.
And 3 to 4 dribbles in the back court because either they pressing. If they're not pressing, it's 2 dribbles in the back court, 2 in the front court, whatever. But teaching these kids 5 to 7 dribble combos is not indicative of what they're going to show in the game.
Oh man, I say this all the time. Especially high school level.
Oh yeah,
high level high school level. It's played off of 2 dribbles.
2 dribbles. Maybe
it's catch, rip,
possibly
2 dribbles.
3, possibly 3.
But the third one's a jump stop in the lane. Then
the third one's a jump stop in the lane, unless you know.
Oh,
they're
maybe you talking about like
they're the
green. I'm about to say you talking about like the green lights, but
no,
like
we're talking about the neons, right? Not even the green. We're talking about neons,
right.
We're talking about so they're the neons and they're green lights and they're passes,
right? But most of it is it's playing off of 2 dribbles and then you hit a 0.5 concept. Right. If you can master the 0.5 concept, be strong with your pivot, and be able to make good decisions 2 dribbles, and a lot of it ends up being. Can you get a 2 dribble jump shot off? Can you get 2 dribbles to get to the lane? And again, outside of that would be something else that's not specifically to would be, do you understand pick and roll, P&R reads?
Of course.
And that's kind of it. Because even dribble handoffs, you're really trying to turn the corner on 2 dribbles and then make a decision in the paint. That's where the third one comes.
Get to the decision zone to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like right now, I feel like if you're a coach in the game, if you have not established your own system, you should be only studying about 2 coaches right now. There's Jay Wright from the previous Villanova era and Hurley at UConn. Right now, those 2 coaches right now can get you what you need to get at the high school level. Because Jay Wright is teaching touch paint, 2 feet, hop step finish, making good decisions. Everything is high IQ. Everything is inverted. I need my bigs to be a guard and my guards to be a big. You go to UConn era as far as picking up concepts, understanding when, where to cut, how to cut, what makes sense for the basketball, what makes sense for the spacing. Spacing right now is key to everything that's done in the basketball world. If you can't teach spacing, you can't coach.
There we go. And not just
like that.
Not just a stagnant 5-out concept.
No.
I think that sometimes, especially even at the league level, it's getting better now, but you've seen it almost for like a year. But then you started seeing the copycats at lower levels, where it just became a 5-out stagnant, and then you bring big screen and hope that they're in a drop, right? In comparison, like sometimes right now, and even when I look at league, it's just a 5 in high school grassroots in general. It's 5-out stagnant.
Yeah,
there's not even action happening, and it's almost. Especially against a good team. And sometimes I get to see this on different weekends where I can watch a stagnant 5-out try and go 1-on-5 against loaded up defenses. And it never, ever ends well. It just never does. Sometimes you make hard shots because some players are really, really good shot makers, but again, conceptually, the game has to evolve. Well, like you have to teach more than just a stagnant 5-out or just a basic pick and roll, in which you're actually teaching your kids concepts and making sure they understand how to play the game. If you just want to take a cheat, just Princeton, it's that's easy as well.
No.
You said dribble drive. That's simple as well.
But these kids don't understand what is off ball. Like literally, if you're in a practice right now and you take your standard, even I'm gonna go high school. You take 80% of high school players right now. If you tell them, "Hey, give me some off ball action," they're gonna look at you like, "What do you mean?"
What's that?
Right.
To where like a person doesn't understand a back screen or a flare screen
or even a simple interchange
or
that occupies the help
like
defense.
more so it's like they watch so much bad NBA basketball,
right,
to where they implement it to being bad high school basketball.
And that's why I'm glad the league is starting to change. It's starting to move more into like split actions, in which I'm enjoying because it allows just as like a dad, you can teach a little bit more. Even when
you can watch the game,
even when watching it. Like it was a while, like Harden and Luka era, like it was just
the 17 dribble era.
Yes, like
sidestep, pick and roll, denied.
And then this goes to what I probably hated, the fact that Luka benefited from the drop coverage being popular in the NBA also.
Oh, for sure.
And so like he was going downhill, slow motion, and a lot of times, especially if the dude is doing the whatchamacallit, pick and roll.
Yeah.
I forget.
Gortat.
Yeah, the Gortat pick and roll. He was just getting almost what looked like a walk-in layup.
So that's why I couldn't stand it, because he was taught to show.
Yeah. Whether you're gonna hedge, you're gonna
blitz that shit. We're gonna
ice it.
Ice it. It's like, so like now it's like when he see motherfuckers just sit back and drop coverage, he's like, yo, this is some bullshit.
Man, like, what is this?
No, I used to get pissed, and that's why that's why I was just shitting on Doc Rivers a little bit.
Oh yeah,
because the Luka used to go for 50 in the playoffs against Paul George, Patrick Beverly, Kawhi Leonard,
for what reason?
And
because
all these because they just are drop coveraging. It's an issue with your actual coverage.
Shit.
But nonetheless, yeah.
I tell you, while we talking about high school basketball, I watch South Mac.
Okay,
man, they
got a couple.
Yeah, and it ain't just the players. It's what we talking about. It's the movement.
Yeah,
like I watched them in the fall league.
Yeah,
whoever their coach is, it ain't none of that standing around. It's
girls or the boys.
The boys, the varsity.
Do they got a couple players?
Oh yeah, they got this white kid. It's like 6'3".
Now they're coming back. Coming off a little run from last
year. Yeah. They got a couple shooters.
They were all juniors,
drives.
Juniors and sophomores last year. So they're coming back retooled.
Yeah. They got two of them they can really like shoot it.
Now, funny thing about it is they come to the CIAA, it might not make no noise.
Yeah.
Like, so I called it. So what I called I called the CIAA to
over there where you
come about West Charlotte.
Hey, I was like,
Hopewell.
Wait a minute.
West Charlotte. Talking about West Charlotte, Hopewell, Chambers, Mallet Creek.
I got you.
You know what I mean? You talking about you only got one PWI school, which is tough.
But they got a brother over there that's pretty hard nosed.
Nah,
I don't think they'll.
We know how it is being the brother in the PWI versus being the brother in the CIAA. Right. It's two different things.
Right.
That is which is cool though. Which is cool.
Right.
We got to respect. You can't want someone to be where they ain't at. You know what I mean? As far as atmosphere, but I can't get mad for this dude for killing where he's at.
Right.
Like the kid last year we seen for Weddington.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
KJ
like
Younger.
At Weddington, and he looked like all summertime came and circuit time was like, oh nah, you can't.
Oh, for real? Okay.
You got to get back in that gym.
You went back to play with goddamn, someone else.
Yeah, you need to go play.
You ain't make it where we thought you could have made it.
Yeah,
it was like, Egg.
Yeah,
look at him.
Yeah,
I can't use him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Hey, Chris, look at him. Can't use him. Curry, I can use him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Type thing like that.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to kind of piggyback off that as well is like, you gotta see where you got to kind of meet these kids where they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, these trainers and all these things are trying to make these kids be here based on who they trained before.
Even the dads too. These dads got to stop that. It's a lot of kids that you encounter out here that they'll try to make their kid Kobe, and their kid don't have a Kobe mindset. You gotta look at your kid game, watch the film with him, and make him the best version of who he is. If he's a shooter, make him a shooter. Don't try to make him a Dame Lillard. No, that ain't him. I've encountered 2 dads in the last 2 years that want their kid to be this, and their kid's mindset ain't that.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, dude, like, just let me handle it. Like, I see what he's good at, you know. So
for sure,
you know, this stuff be crazy, man. You know, when we get out here, man, dads, you know, parents, support system, you know, if y'all watching this, you know, look at your kid, look at your kid and take it for what he is and expound on his abilities at that.
Invest in the kid getting better versus you invest in yourself trying to fight for your kid.
Right. Showing up to that school, trying to talking to the coach. The coach ain't got time for that.
Nah.
Ain't got time for that.
I feel like this is a perfect landing space. Like we said, from casuals to the coaches.
Yes,
this is a podcast where we talk about hoops from the grassroots to the league. We might even give you some advice in your parlays. It sound like
yes, sir. Hey, look, we might have a little segment where you just throw that out, man. Don't bet on the Knicks. I tell you that.
We would definitely charge you for those advices, though.
Right. $25 for 3 hits.
But nonetheless, this is Q,
Coach T,
Coach Wayne.
And this has been the Open Gems. There's been a lot of gems dropped. Hopefully y'all pick it up, especially for y'all basketball dads and basketball moms.
Yes, sir.
Some for y'all kids, some for y'all coaches, a lot for trainers as well. But nonetheless, we're signing off. See y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.